brown sugar bag.
Everybody wants to know what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
Brown sugar bag.
Hey, what's the word, y'all? Welcome back. We about to do a little reacting, and we about to do a little mukbang. We got the chicken and waffles. Yeah, y'all see we did chicken and waffle live last night. I don't want to drop it, but I want y'all to see it. We did the chicken and waffle live last night, and we're gonna do a mukbang today. You feel me? Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all subscribe. We got a new fat order underway. Yeah, we got the red, black, and the black and white. Y'all check out the links. You know what I'm saying? To get yours. We finna see what's going on in the world, man. We finna just react to a few things that got going
makes the
on
gathering great
right now, man. Prayers for everybody in California and LA who done lost homes and stuff like that. Prayers to y'all, man.
We want to get right back to Dallas Raines, who is studying these winds.
Yeah, this is crazy.
And Giovanna, tonight, we are going to see another burst of Santa Ana winds. We had a beautiful sunset tonight, and many times the Santa Ana winds you can see way out to sea, and that's what we had. Let's look at the scale of Santa Ana winds. What we had last week, of course, was extreme, with winds up to 60, 70. I didn't see any 100-mile-per-hour winds anywhere reported, but it was an extreme event. This one will be between moderate and strong in the morning, between about 40 and 45-mile-per-hour gusts, maybe a little bit more in some elevated canyons. Red flags stay with us tonight, no doubt about that, all the way through Wednesday afternoon. I think the winds will start backing off in the afternoon. And then this area, Santa Clarita, right through here, act in that area until Thursday at 3 p.m. That's your red flag alerts for you, so you can see everything that's going on right there. This is a PDS, particularly dangerous situation, and you don't see these very
It's crazy how these fires, man, be spreading, man.
But we do have our firestorms, and we have that going all the way from the fires of both of the fire zones, including Silmar. Wind velocities right now are not so strong. They're way up at higher elevations. Burbank Airport, 4. That's nice. Pasadena, 9. And of course, you're at 5,000-6,000 feet. You can get into some gusty winds. Some of those will be making their way down into Southern California. Air quality has been pretty good today, but the AQMD is warning about blowing ash. Our sensors don't pick up larger particles, mainly the little tiny ones, but certainly air quality will be a problem, especially as those winds pick up. Look how cold it was this morning. Eaton Canyon, 38. Ojai was 27 degrees, and Big Bear Lake was 10 degrees. That center of low pressure can be seen beautifully. Well up in the west. This is a Rex block. High pressure to the north, low pressure to the south. So as this low tracks a little closer to us tonight and tomorrow morning, there will be some gusty winds feeding into that area of low pressure. That's why we have one more burst of Santa Ana winds coming over the next couple of days.
Is that Doc Ada? Doc Ada. Appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood.
It's a pleasure to have you. We're doing a little reacting and eating some chicken and waffles, so appreciate you.
Brown sugar bag.
And then I have something exciting. An area of low pressure will come down the coastline over the weekend. It won't have any rain with it, but look at my arrows now for you. Driving in some cooler air, even some marine layer clouds coming in too. Let's go through the overnight hours tonight. And
Weatherman, some of the smoothest green screen people in the world. I don't see how y'all hate on green screen people.
Now let's get into
every weather person, green screen person.
They do accelerate. Burbank still not super strong. I'm going 20 to 30 there, occasional gust to 40. And then in the fire zone here, 30 to 40 maybe a little gust of 45 in that area. So again, another strong burst of Santa Ana winds before things really start backing off, thank goodness, as we get into the afternoon hours. Here's 7-day forecast in. Fire danger again tomorrow. Northeast Canyon winds 30, occasional gust of 40, 73. Then on Thursday, we're down to 70. I don't think
that wind
is really doing it.
Major winds at all anywhere on Thursday. And then on Friday, check this out, as that low comes down the coast, maybe it kicks
that wind is what's spreading the fire.
Feel great, but we will be cold this weekend. High temperatures downtown 59. It was 39 this morning, as I talked about, and that's close to the record of 34 degrees for this date downtown LA. In the valley areas, fire danger again, release gusty winds coming through.
Is that cold?
Cooler Friday. We dropped 10 degrees on Friday, and then even the valleys may see a little stratus clouds coming in. Now, at the end of the 7-day, I know we've been through so much, my friends, but I am
Appreciate y'all hitting that like button.
Of another Santa Ana wind event.
Onions on the grill.
Elevated fire danger. At the beaches, 65, 62, then a cold weekend with Huntington Beach only 57 on Sunday. Maybe some marine layer clouds floating by in the morning. Be nice. And more humidity. In the mountains, 45, 49, 46. Cold at night, down in the low teens. Now into the desert, sunny, sunny. Big Bear will be cold up there, but if you come down out of Big Bear into the deserts, we'll look at temperatures in the low 70s and upper 60s out at Palm Springs.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe button for our YouTube channel. And download the ABC7 Los Angeles streaming app on Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and Roku to watch on your TV.
In other news, Illinois
president talking about
this. It just came out. There's a new website where any Illinois resident,
Come on, man. Y'all be trying to be slick with these commercials.
And it'll be a fake
Person ain't know no better was gonna listen to that.
Fake investigation. And I said, well, wait a minute. This guy was thrown off in disgrace. In disgrace. He's going back to The Hague or wherever they're going to send him.
Let's see what he's talking about, man.
Because he failed so badly. Because it was
a
case against a political opponent. They thought they were going to use this to beat me. So what you're saying is, I'm just saying that they're not allowed to issue the report. So if they're not allowed to issue the report, that's the way it should be. Because he was thrown off the case in disgrace. Why should he be allowed to write a fake report? It'll only be a fake report. That's great news. Good.
I almost got my lemon pepper, y'all.
We're sending millions of dollars every month to the Taliban.
It's not even believable. Billions of dollars, not millions, billions.
Just a little bit.
Billions of dollars to essentially the Taliban, Afghanistan. And that's given by Biden. That's the same man that took away $50 to $60 trillion worth of value from the United States. They probably our most valuable asset. Took away our most valuable asset. This can't be allowed to happen. We are now a nation of common sense. When he does that, 625 million acres, this can't be allowed to happen. Thank you for the information. Most other people probably knew about it, but they wouldn't have told me, right?
You vowed to bring down the prices at grocery stores very fast.
Yeah, we won't do it
But then
fast.
you recently told Time Magazine that bringing down prices would be very hard. So what can the American people do when you get into
It's always hard to bring down prices when somebody else has screwed something up like they did. But we'll bring them down. We'll get them down. Energy's going to bring down prices. We're going to have a lot of energy. And energy's what brought it up. Energy and their bad spending is what brought it up. And energy is going to bring it down. We're going to have prices down. I think you're going to see some pretty drastic price reductions. As an example, food, bacon, ham, apples, everything has gone through the roof. It's one of the reasons I won. So as you know, I said it, inflation was one of the reasons I won, but I think the biggest reason I won.
Hey, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood.
It's a pleasure to have you there.
And we're on the road to 2 million
subscribers too. If y'all already know, now you know.
Hit that like button, subscribe, click that bell so you don't miss a video. You feel me?
They released them from their jails, their prisons, and their mental institutions and insane asylums into our country. I believe that's the reason we got such a large. Right, maybe one or two more questions. Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead. You go.
So can you, President Carter is laying in state today in Washington. You had some harsh words for him about the Panama Canal. Is there any disconnect there? Do you feel a little bit bad about doing that on this day?
No, I liked him as a man. I disagreed with his policy. So he thought giving away the Panama Canal was a good thing. I think it cost him the election. That and the hostages. I actually think that was a bigger factor because that's a deal that just should not have been made. But again, this was a question that was asked of me. I didn't bring it up. I didn't want to bring up the Panama Canal because of Jimmy Carter's death. But people don't bring it up. But you and other people have asked me about it. No, it's a deal that I was very strongly against when this took place. But just why would we spend all of that money, lose 38,000 people to malaria, the mosquito? They were dying. It was horrible what was happening. They paid them 4 times more than they would make in the United States, but they knew they were going to go over there and die. And they died in the jungles of malaria. There was nothing we could do to stop it. 38,000. And then we gave it away for $1.
Echo. Okay, hold on, my bad. My bad. Who is that? Mr. Sean Terrell, appreciate you, Jack.
I always have, I always will. But if 2 is more certain,
hey, is that better?
It does go a little bit quicker because you can do the immigration stuff.
That's better now?
Now, you have to understand, for immigration and for the wall, we won the case on the wall. They tried to sell the wall for 5 cents on the dollar, by the way. In other words, double what we paid for it.
Thank you much.
So they were going to buy it
Appreciate
from this guy for 5 cents.
If y'all was coming, I didn't see it at first because I had to.
Unfortunately, we had a very smart judge that stopped it.
Open the comments back up.
I think he called for an investigation too, and he should. But think of it.
But it's good now, right?
The wall.
V is good.
Exactly the wall that the Border Patrol wanted. That was designed by them.
For sure, for sure. Appreciate you, Jack.
Brown sugar bag.
Very, very heavy steel, very powerful steel, hard to cut.
I see fat people.
Very, very heavy, 7,000
And I appreciate
pound concrete,
every
which
last
is a
one
very
of them.
strong concrete. Everything was top of the line. Very expensive. Would be double what we paid for it then, 6 years ago. But let me just tell you, they were selling it for 5 cents on the dollar to people, and those people were calling us, asking us to pay them 200 cents because it's a good deal because we can have it immediately.
I be feeling like he be just chatting a lot. Like I be hearing him, but then he just started chatting.
The papers haven't written
What you talking about, man?
That deal is like all the other things that these people do. These people either hate our country or they're very stupid. And I don't believe they're stupid because nobody can cheat on elections like they cheat and be stupid. They either hate our country or they're stupid. So remember what I said because nobody wants to report it. They were selling the wall for 5 cents on the dollar and trying to resell it back to us for 200 cents or less, but for 200 cents on the dollar. That's a nice return.
Nice return. Damn right.
On its website. And Meta said today it would stop putting fact checks on its website and instead allow community.
Well, I watched their news conference, and I thought it was a very good news conference. I think they've honestly, I think they've come a long way.
I think that's an exaggeration.
Facebook.
For real.
I think they've come a long way. I watched it. The man was very impressive. I watched it. Actually, I watched it on Fox. I'm not allowed to say that. Say it.
Do you think he's directly responding to the threats
What?
that have been made to him in the past?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
The last time you were here, you were asked a question about the U.S. possibly launching a preemptive strike on Iran.
Very much so.
On who?
Obviously, on Iran. The U.S. launching a preemptive strike on Iran's nuclear facilities.
And I said I don't talk about it. It's a military strategy.
But it is a legitimate question.
It's not really, because only a stupid person would answer it. Look, it's a military strategy, and I'm not answering your questions
That boy
on
be saying some
military
bold
strategy.
stuff.
All right, one more. Brian, go ahead. Brian.
Could you give us a preview of what you might be talking to leaders of Congress who are expected to come here in the next couple of days? And you've got a very supportive Congress behind you.
Yeah, they're great. So we have a wonderful Republican
Was
Congress.
that a complete question?
We have a leader that I have a lot of confidence in. I think he's going to be hopefully a great leader, a great speaker. And we have a leader, by the way, in the Senate I think has been great. John Thune has been doing a fantastic job. But it goes through the House first. And the question is whether or not we do the 2 bills or 1 bill. And, look, I can live either way. I like the idea of the one big bill. But I can live either way. But they'll be coming down. The senators also will be coming down, and then ultimately we'll be meeting in the White House in a few weeks. But right now, this is the winter season. You know, they sort of call this the winter White House. It was built, I don't know if you know this, Marjorie Meriwether Post and E.F. Hutton built this. It was the greatest of all the estates in our country. And I saved it, and I got a lot of credit for saving it. Most of these big, great houses have been knocked down in Palm Beach. Just about all of them, actually. And they, you know, you'd build 10 mansions on one site. But we saved it.
What are we talking
but
about,
this
man?
was built as the Southern White House. And she gave it to the government. And, by the way, Jimmy
See what I'm
Carter gave it
saying?
back. He said it's too expensive.
Why are you talking about the oldest house in America? What? Man, move, man. Man, let's see what Donald Rollins and Uncle Shay Shay talking about, man.
I was going to turn 26 and
If
lose
they
my
live,
mom's
we ain't
coverage,
gon-
so I need to
I
find
think
my
they
own
live,
plan.
too. Hold on,
For
let me see.
$4 a month, I got a plan that covers my pre-existing condition.
What else is extra?
What's some of the best advice Dave has given you?
Dave don't really give me advice.
It's the premiere.
Nah.
So it's still a video.
He doesn't really give me advice. Just stay out of trouble. Well, he will say, Dave has told me this, you starting to level up. So as you starting to level up, you gotta be careful of shit because they will come after you. But he doesn't really, you gotta realize, Dave is the GOAT, right? I'm older than Dave, but Dave really has respect for me. He has respect for me as a comic, so it's not too much advice you're gonna give him. And when we talk, and like our relationship is not like our relationship, it ain't all about just comedy.
Yeah, y'all ain't really talking about, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Y'all talk about life.
people
Y'all talk
come,
about
people come to me like, yo, I got this check, so I say, I don't even talk to Dave about none of that. Me and Dave talk about family. You know what I'm saying? Like our friendship is not just on that screen. We've been in funerals together. We've been in weddings. You know what I'm saying? When I had my first kid, you know what I mean? He saw the excitement that I had on those tour buses and shit like that. So our relationship is not just about that show. It's a real brotherhood.
Hold on. You live in Ohio? What the?
What?
You're from the DMV. What made you decide to go to Ohio?
I got invited to a Diddy party.
No.
What?
Dave
No, I'm
lives
just
in
saying-
Ohio.
No, Dave lives in
What?
Ohio, but I'm gonna tell you, this is what made me.
You don't live like
This is
that.
what made me think about it. During the pandemic, when the whole world was shut down, the whole world was shut down. Nothing was moving in LA. You know what I'm saying? My baby mother was really getting on my nerves, like, and at a very tough time when no.
Sadiq Philmon, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here.
I was working. I didn't know what the future of anything was going to be, and Dave was one of the first person. He built he created a bubble out there, and it was in that time, that first summer, that time that I started really looking at like what's really important in life, and Hollywood shit didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It was just like during the pandemic, if you didn't appreciate the simple things in life, like, you know, being in Hollywood and riding past the playground with no kids there, all that type of shit. If it didn't get to you and realize something else is out there, and I went out there to Yellow Springs, spent some time in the country, I saw how simple that life was, and I got it. I was like, why did anybody need to be in Hollywood now?
Did you think you could ever live that simple of a life?
Yeah, and the reason why, because my life is so chaotic anyway. I travel so much. I'm all in so many different places. I get my chaos there, but when I go on the elsewhere,
home, you want to
just want to chill. I want to look in the backyard and see a motherfucking deer.
Right.
I want to eat some of the shit you used to eat, like possums and turtles and all of that
Rabbit,
crazy shit,
squirrel.
right?
Yeah.
And that's what it was. I was like, this is the simple side. And Hollywood is not Hollywood anymore. It used to be a point where the only way you could make it, you had to be in New York or Hollywood. But you're an example of, you ain't got to be in Hollywood to do any of the things that you do.
No.
You can be wherever you want.
That's what digital is. That's what the internet
That's what digital
digitally
is.
has done.
And then what it also is, you bring it to me. Like I do a podcast, whatever, I'm building the numbers on that, but I'm like, eventually I'm gonna get that to a point where, you know what, I don't gotta work as hard as whatever, I better do that. But it was the simple life, it was that simple part of it. And then after doing it for over 30 years, it ain't too much shit that I haven't already done.
Experience that you
on the wild side. So, you know, I know different birds and shit now. Blue jays and canaries and shit like that. And I appreciate that shit now.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Canaries are not native to Ohio.
What?
Canaries are not.
What do you?
Cardinals. That's the red bird.
Oh, you a bird now?
That's our bird.
Oh, this Mr. Do everything.
That's our bird.
Not nobody
Cardinal.
knew what bird I was talking about.
Comment
you had
in
to
the
take it to
comments
the
if y'all
origin
know
of the
what-
bird.
what
Okay,
bird.
I grew up
I was
around
a
gray
member of the
birds.
Audubon Society.
I grew up
Cardinal
on gray
is.
birds. They was
What
all
state
gray.
bird is it?
Pigeons. They got a canary cardinal couldn't even make it in D.C. They get jumped. You ever seen a colorful bird in Brooklyn? Never. All gray birds.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You got some money. When you first got some good money, some decent money. Not
Out
when
his
you know,
pocket.
I mean, obviously, any money you was making probably was a little bit more than you was making in the DMV. But when you got a good chunk of money, what did Donnell do?
Pay back all the I owed.
No, my mom.
Yo, I was on people's books.
Get them bills
But I
out the
never,
way.
the thing is, my grind has been just constantly. You know what I'm saying? Where it was no money to make some comfortable money, to be scared about this. But the crazy thing now is I'm going through a transition on learning how to have money, make money.
Right.
But I never, like, I've always been like, just teeting along. But it was never nothing. It was never nothing like, oh my God, I can't wait to blow money.
You never had no throwaway money.
Never did that.
Right.
If I won't say throwing that, I know this sounds crazy, but the best thing, the weirdest thing, and I'll get over this, the best part of me making money is being able to help others and give other people. Right. When I was younger in the game, I was like, you know, what money is gonna mean to me is that I would be able to take care of some people and make other people's life comfortable. Because where I'm coming from, there's not too many people that can go somewhere and say, even as simple as like, y'all get what y'all want, order whatever you want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was never. And I'm not like a flashy guy or anything like that. I just do just simple shit. As long as I can provide for my son, my family, I'm good.
Does money mean different things to you now as opposed to say 25, 30 years ago?
100%.
No.
What?
I've never like been excessive. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I did, I when I was younger, I wanted to live like a drug boy without the chance of going to jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to have a nice car, dress nice, and just I wanted to be able to go somewhere and not look at the tags and not worry about money.
Right.
You know, and I built enough now, that's where I'm at right now. But money is not my motivator.
Right.
The only thing I look at money now is for the future of my son.
Right.
It's a tool.
I had Marlon Wayans on about a couple of months ago, and he said when he wrote a show, he and Sean, and it didn't go through like he wanted to, and then Keenan came on, and he made him write it 20 plus times again. Right. And I read that Dave made you rewrite your special 3 times.
Yeah, but it was, I don't know if it was a rewrite, but it's so funny because Marlon gave me some advice once before. He said, Donald, take a year off and just write. You can write your future. But the Dave situation was, we were, this was during the pandemic, he really got close to my stand-up. And he was like, I want to do your, I never approached him about doing my special.
Okay.
He said, I want to produce a special. He was just like, you deserve it. He came up with the idea of the
That's
home
what's up.
team, me, Lunel, Earthquake, Tony Woods, and that was it. And we shot this special. The first time I did a stab at it, it was in Charlotte, at the Fillmore Theater in Charlotte.
Man, big up to Dave Chappelle, man. Real ninja. That's what's up. Elysian, what is it? I'm sorry if I butcher your name. Zendale and Hastress. Welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood. Thank you for subscribing. It's a pleasure to have you here. Hey, yeah, but that's what's up, man. Dave Chappelle, the real one, man. He ain't have to do that. The man wasn't even finna shoot a special, man. He said, man, I want to shoot your special for you, man. He said, you deserve it. That's what's up, man.
Come on.
Okay.
So when y'all be saying stuff like, he sound like that crackhead off the Dave Chappelle show, or he sound like such and such, or such and such, or such and such. The only way you know them is because they did what they wanted to do so that you could know them. So I appreciate the gesture. It's flattering, honestly.
But this was at the heels of the pandemic.
Right.
So it was just like the venue had a COVID protocol. You had to have vaccination cards and all this type of stuff. And we did the special and I ripped the special, right? And me and Quake had announced our specials coming out, and then maybe like a week, maybe 2 weeks after we made the announcement, Dave calls me. I was about to go on stage in Baltimore, and he said, Donnie, I want to redo your special. And like, that's a very insulting question.
Yeah.
Say to me, because first you think it wasn't funny. I said, just tell me, how did I go from a standing ovation,
bald head right there, but it's
chest
still
bumping
good.
Stan Latham, to you want to do it over? He said, Donnell, I could put you in front of any audience and you'll rip it. It doesn't make it a great special. Right? Made a lot of sense. And he talked to a guy that already won like 4 Emmys, 5 Grammys. I said, I still don't know what that means. He said, look, you did a lot of COVID jokes. Netflix had turned away like half my audience because of not within the vaccination situation. And they had the mask. And he said, I've seen you do these jokes better than this. I said, I've seen you do jokes better than what happened on a special. But I was already under gun because when you practice for a special, you're usually doing an hour.
Right.
This was during COVID. Nowhere I could go and do an hour.
Right.
Only place I could do was 15 minutes. So what I was doing was I had 4 15-minute shows, and hopefully I bring them together when it's time for it. But when I listened to him, and after he said that, it made more sense. He said, we're going to do this. We got to knock it out of the park. And I was saying, you still going to give me my money, right? Yo, the check had already cleared, so we could do it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
That was the first time. Maybe 7 to 8 months after that, we were doing some shows in Napa Valley, and we were backstage. It was me, Dave, Ricky Hughes, who produced all his specials. And Dave said, Ricky, how many cameras do you have here? She said, we got 5. He looks at me, he said, do you want to shoot your special? I said, when? He said, tomorrow. No announcement. We were just going to roll the dice.
Right.
We had the cameras, and I was excited about that because I didn't have to do a build up, inviting family. It's a Netflix presentation. We was basically going to do it with nobody knowing.
Right.
Caught another standing ovation. He hits me back. I want to do it again. I'm like, what the? He was like,
bro, just go ahead and tell me what's up.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. But then he said, I didn't like the production. I'm like, you produced it. But what it was, he's very meticulous when it comes to production. And the thing was, it was like people walking around because we didn't have an audience person telling people don't go to the bathroom.
Right.
And he just didn't like the look of it. And I was like, all right, the next staff, I was at the New York Comedy Festival, and I said, let's just bring the cameras in here and do it. And that's when I think I nailed it. That's when the new day, the special was good. I looked good. People liked the special. I talked about
second
stuff.
Time always the best.
Because that first one.
Second time is always the best. And I literally was just saying this to one of the creators that I follow too. Tim Baraka Barros. Appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Andrea Cook. Appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. But I was just telling her, like, she had forgot to record her short while she was cooking. And I was like, did you record? And she was like, no, I didn't. And she had messed up the sound. It was the sound that was messed up at first. And I was like, well, the second time is always best. When you mess up the first time and you try it again, you cover some pieces that you didn't know you missed the first time. And then it gives you a chance to perfect what you seen the first time that you could have made better this time. So a lot of times you got to start over. Yeah, it ain't that bad. You'll be okay. It's just something wasn't right. And you started over for a reason. So take that start over and run with it, because it's going to be greater the next time. Like, for real, for real. I ain't just saying this. This for real. And this happened to me all the time, especially with YouTube Shorts. I might be making a thumbnail on the phone or something and get a phone call or get distracted. 5 seconds away from a YouTube Short thumbnail, you got to start all over. So whatever you created, you better fixate yourself on that and finish it, because if you don't, you're going to start over. But every time I started over, it came out better. Even with videos that I've recorded, you know what I'm saying? You're going to find out that starting over ain't that bad.
If you would play that first one today and saw COVID mask, you would already known it was shot in 2020.
Correct.
But the way we did it this time, you don't know.
Something timeless.
Timeless. It could be funny 5 years before and 5 years after. So
negotiating. What have you learned about negotiating with companies like a Netflix, like a Comedy Central? You mentioned that Dave,
good question,
a couple of shows, and so obviously they take you serious when it's kind of like with anything. You hire an agency and you go negotiate with people, they take you serious like, oh, he ain't bullshit.
Because you have an agency behind you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like, but then I know this is going to sound crazy, but the traditional sense of negotiating, agencies, management, it's about to change.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that because the artists now have power now, where you needed an agent or manager to introduce you to this person and get this.
Right.
The power is in you having support, you having fans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A person that has 50 million followers
on
Instagram, what is a manager going to do for them?
Right.
Introduce somebody to take more money? I'm not saying.
Hey, follow me on Instagram too if y'all haven't already. At Mr. Brown 121 _ Instagram, Mr. Brown 121 _ Appreciate you.
In case you're not going to need that, but it's becoming more where the artists can negotiate their own thing. And the whole thing is knowing what your worth is. And then I've always been like, my negotiation, people always tell me, what's your price? I really don't. It all depends on what the need is and what it is. And I've never been a person that try to just hit you in the head. I try to build relationships with people for a long time, not for just one shot.
But look, definitely try to build relationships, but get your money, because people don't care about that relationship. They care about that moment and what you could do for them in that moment. So make sure you get yourself taken care of. The first rule of life is self-preservation. Take care of yourself first. You can be nice. You can do something not free, but with contingencies, with some type of stipulations. But don't be no fool. Don't do nothing for free. But for sure, build relationships. But be aware of the relationships you building. You feel me? We here? All right.
Brown sugar bag.
Dave did the Netflix special, and he caught a lot of flack for the transgender joke.
So we ain't got no non-Dave questions?
Yeah, just one more.
Donald said, so you gonna stop glazing Dave and ask me about me? Because I'm here. I mean, you wanna know about me too? Because I came to talk about me. I ain't come to talk about Dave. What are you talking about?
He's able to tell.
Can I call Dave, tell his nigga to come and do this interview?
I'll reach out.
That's why I'm here.
That boy's stupid.
He said, that's why I'm here. He's like, man, who the next nigga that was on the show?
You know, you ain't Dave. You know Dave.
No.
The transgender joke. I've never seen
his joke or my joke?
His joke. I've never seen a guy, and even when he did the Saturday Night Live,
he still gave you a bone.
That monologue that he did there, the way he can tell a story, the way he can weave you in and out, and you don't even realize it, because I get what he was saying.
I really, really beg you to come see me live.
Where you gonna be at?
I'll let you know. But go ahead, continue with Dave again.
That's what's up, man.
Dave.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. That's how you do it, man. And that's how you do it classy, man, where you don't sound like a hater, man. Or you don't sound like a ban list person. You know what BAN. Yeah, if you don't know what a BAN is, then get your life together. He did that with Demure. Ain't that what y'all calling that? Demure. He did that with Demure. Hey, man, stop talking about Dave, man. You don't see me right here, man. My name Donald Rollins, man. Yeah, we did some stuff together, man, but I got a lot of stuff going on, man. You should come to my show, man. I'm gonna let you know when I got it going on, man. Uncle Shay Shay be doing his thing, man, but Uncle Shay Shay be acting like, all the way, like, all the way. Even when he be, like, interviewing, he done interviewed my nephew Darren. He done interviewed, Kai. He done interviewed a few people. But he need to do some more homework before the interviews, Jack. Because I don't think the cards that he got the real questions that he want to ask, or the information that he searched for and looked up. I believe the information was fed to him to You know what I'm saying? So he asking questions. Just it ain't everything. Everybody don't want to hear that. That's what you wanted to hear, Unc. But they wanted to hear because they put him on the cards, and you just playing your part. But that man did that with some demure and elegance, man. That's what's up, man. Respect for Donald Rollins.
When he stood, Netflix stood behind him, and you mentioned something that this cancel culture before long is going to be done away with.
Yeah,
because you were giving people too much power. People that have built something over 25, 30 years,
right,
and they make one mistake,
right,
and it's gone.
Yeah, but see, it's only certain people can be canceled. Certain people can't be canceled. People that don't lie. So, first off, what cancel culture wants to do, they want to stop your bread.
Okay.
First they want to do, they can't wait to say, the agency dropped him. So-and-so dropped it. They want to stop your money. When they're powerless when they can't stop your money.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? The situation with him, and there are some artists like that. You know, I would say Chris Rock is one of those joints that can't be canceled. They built a base, and I think, I'm not at that level, but I think I'm uncanceled because
I feel like Cat Williams
I'm not on a TV
right.
TV
I don't feel like Cat Williams can be
I'm
canceled.
not doing movies regularly.
And if he did,
last
it's like
5 or 6
it
years,
won't
any
affect
work
him.
I've got, it wasn't through audition. It was because somebody said, we want this guy. But, you know, when you don't have to get a check for somebody else, you create your own checks, you can't counsel a person.
Is there a joke that you won't do?
And that's the same thing that go for the people that try to demonize you or put you in a category or make you less than or make you feel like who is that? Does that say Angel? Hold on, let me see. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, man, don't let nobody make you think man, look, man. Y'all heard him, man.
It's not a joke that I won't do because I'm irresponsible in the jokes that I choose to use.
Right.
Now, the argument's been like, oh, I believe in freedom of speech, whatever. Yes, you have the freedom to say whatever you want. Also know that there's some consequences will come with what you say. And there's a possibility there may be some backlashes. I encourage white people to use the N-word all day. I say use it so you can see how it feels to use it. If you think you're that strong, if you want to make that argument when I can use it, use it. But then this is what's going to happen. There's consequences to anything that you say or do.
Right.
One of my phrases is, a joke can be too soon, but it never can be too soon for a funny observation.
Right.
That's what my comedy is. And I think that's what some of the best comedians thing is.
Right. There are some times, I mean, you said some LGBTQ jokes, Asian jokes.
He still didn't
I mean,
get
when
it
you
right.
say a joke, do you know like, I don't know if I should have. Or you just go.
No, I do know that. And then the ones that make me, I don't know, those are the ones I want to do the most. Yeah, because I'm just saying it's like, there's something to be said about a comic that speaks from their point of view and how they feel.
If that's what comedy is, if that's what comedians supposed to do, supposed to go places, because it's supposed to be like,
it all depends on who it is.
Okay.
You have some comics that would never do that because they're in the business with corporations. They're in this business, that's where they make their money. You know what I'm saying? You have some of them that don't, but it all depends. I know some comics, like I say Jim Gaffigan. You ain't gonna never hear Jim Gaffigan do a straight up dick and pussy joke, but he might water it down and substitute some words because he's protecting his bag.
Right.
Whatever you gotta do, protect your bag, whatever your bag is. My bag has been grimy for the longest time, so I don't have to protect it like that.
You're friends with Joe Rogan, right?
Yeah.
Joe went from I didn't know Joe was a comedian.
Okay, it feel like a kickback now. Like now he asks about Joe Rogan, he ain't asking about Dave. It feel like a kickback. It feel like just barbershop talk, basement talk, kicking it with That's what it feel like now, and it ain't bad. That's a good thing. But yeah, I'm glad he got off Dave Chappelle because he was glazing. You was glazing.
Comedian. Yeah. When I first was introduced to Joe Rogan was Fear Factor.
Right. A lot of people.
And then the next thing I know, he's basically the voice of the UFC. He's calling fights, and then obviously he's a pretty good stand-up comedian from what I hear. Yeah. I don't really get into it like that. So what is the yin and the yang? How did you and Joe become cool?
Well, Joe, we became, first off, I know of Joe from Fear Factor, from Chappelle Show.
Okay.
And then he was like a really big part of the Comedy Store vibe there. Like, he's been a big name for years. And of course his podcast, but I never ever like was like, hey Joe, I'm so and so and so and so. My introduction to people, I want them to see me perform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want him to see me perform. He would see me in pass in the Comedy Store.
And that's why he just told Uncle Shay, hey man, you need to come to one of my shows, man. I'm gonna invite you to one of my shows, man. That's what he just said. If you listen to people long enough, you'll know exactly what they saying to you.
And then he knew my reputation that I was a funny guy.
Okay.
Then we exchanged words, whatever, and then one thing led to another where I did his podcast. And it was interesting because I heard Miss Pat was on the show.
Yes.
And Miss Pat was like, people got upset with her because she kept it real.
Right.
And I'll double down and say, I know that's his character. Because when I did his podcast for the first time, I was like, I want to come off the road, man. I don't want to work as much on the road because I want to spend more time with my son, but I don't make money in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I need to make money in Hollywood. He was like, just start a podcast. I'm like, it's not that simple. He was like, and I'm saying to myself, ain't no money in podcasts like that. And then I Googled him. I was like, okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, right?
But he at the top of the food
chain.
But
this is what I'm going to tell you. This is what I want to say. And when I watched the one, Miss Pat, I was like, she right. That's the type of person he is.
Mm-hmm.
But our own people are so critical of each other. When Joe said,
Right.
Donnell, I was like, how do I get subscribers like that? He said, just do a podcast on a tape recorder, anything. Just do it. I'll tweet it out. You'll get some links
That's
off of
what's
that.
up.
Then you do
That's
all the
what's
other
up.
podcasts.
Joe a
Next
real
thing
one
you
for
know,
that.
be on. Guess what? I did it. I came out the gate with like 7,000 subscribers off of that. And people can say what they want to say. I'm so sick of the black, white, that
You
type of
too.
shit.
You too. You too. You heard what he said? He said he did it because he didn't believe in it at first. He thought he needed some. He said just do it. And Joe, he did get a tweet out from Joe, but he still is Donald Rollins. Like you still you. You still know people, and there's people that still know you. Like, what you waiting for? Ain't gonna never be a perfect time. Now is the perfect time. Today, when you woke up and you looking at this your message. Yup, sure is. Yup.
Brown sugar bag.
I ain't got it all together. You see me reaching for the buttons.
Onions on the grill.
But when it's gonna be my time, it's gonna be my time. I'm gonna get the stream deck and they gonna be lit up right here, ready for me to boop, 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 boop. But until then,
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
and that's gonna always be. It's always gonna be like that. Something gonna always not be right. Okay? But it's up to you to fix it. All right? He started and got 7,000, what did he say? 7,000, 8,000 out the gate? Start. Your starting line and your finish line is two different places. You feel me?
Somebody come to the Bloy Hotel. I'm like, oh man, he tall, dark, handsome, and an accent. I ain't got a chance, man. And I was just starting my ashy journey at that time, so
Right.
I was out of the loop.
But if you think about it, if you go back, you look at Idris and the role that he played, and you look at Damson, Idris in Snowfall. How the British actors getting all these gangster roles?
I mean, they students of the craft. I know it's been some talk like to get on the road, but you got to be. Just imagine the level you have to be. All those guys, they got to get dialect coaches.
Yeah, because I didn't know the guy in Snowfall. I did not know he was British.
No.
I couldn't tell.
I don't know if they
good
working for a
acting
cheaper
right
amount
there.
of money. I
Idris
don't know.
definitely doing some
If
great
they don't know
acting.
that part of it, but
When
for
he
you
played
to
in The Wire,
be able to
I
embody
had
these
no idea.
characters
Yeah.
and to do it in
I
out
would've thought
in
that
another
man was from
accent,
Baltimore.
Yes.
it's got to be something to be said about their skill set. But at the end of the day, we complain about everything. But at the end of the day, may the best man win.
Right.
You know?
Because a lot of people, they're getting upset. Like, hold on. You got black actors right here in America, and then you bring British
on your
actors
job.
to play a black.
Get on your job.
Hold up.
If
Wait
you
a
feel
minute.
like
Something ain't right.
that mean get on your job. Do you. Do you. They ain't coming looking for your monk ass. You got to get out there so they can see you. For real.
Just imagine the level you have to be. All those guys, they got to get dialect coaches.
Yeah, because I didn't know the guy in Snowfall. I did not know he was British.
No.
I couldn't tell.
I don't know if they working for a cheaper amount of money. I don't know if they don't know that part of it. But for you to be able to embody these characters and to do it out in another accent,
Yes.
it's
Nah,
got to
for
be
sure,
something
for
to be
sure.
said about their skill set. But at the end of the day, we complain about everything. But at the end of the day, may the best man win.
Right.
You know?
Because a lot of people, they're getting upset. Like, hold on. You got black actors right here in America, and then you bring British actors to play a black person, a black American.
Right.
Why?
And then people don't be wanting to act either. Like, people be calling everything fake. YouTube was created as a platform so you can display you. Whatever you do, whatever you own, whatever you want to put out there, do it. And people be doing it. And a lot of time, when people go looking for people in Hollywood, they need something to reference, which means you need some type of content, some type of something with your special ass. They think the world just revolve around you, and they just gonna magically appear and say, hey, we're gonna give you this $1 million check to come do some acting. No, that ain't how it go, pimping.
Why not just hire a black American to play a?
Because they might not have been the best person for the job.
Okay.
I don't understand. This business is about competition.
Right.
And like what you're saying, like people complain. I know this may sound crazy. Work harder.
Right.
Everything ain't gonna be for you.
Right.
You gotta
Church.
keep going. This whole notion.
For you.
Man, first off, Hollywood is f***ed up.
Okay.
It's f***ed up. The people's perception of it is different. At the end of the day, all a lot of people do is sit back and complain. I say pull yourself up by the bootstraps, work hard.
Margot Thompson, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. We got one more? Okay, let's go.
If you didn't get that role, keep going. This field is a job where you going to be rejected 95% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
This is a job where you're going to be broke most of the time. When people come up to me like, Donnell, you got any advice or words of wisdom? I always tell them, you first off, you got to be able to be happy being broke. In this business, if you can't be happy being broke, you might as well get out of it because you're going to be broke most of the time you're doing it. If you could find a happy place, if you could, and I say in my case, when I first started, I wasn't making no money. When I would do a gig for $30 and get a 5-pound bag of potatoes, some bologna, some cheese, and some eggs, I'm like, I got food for the rest of the week. I was happy because I knew if I keep on, eventually it's going to pop.
Right.
And not everybody, but for the most part, you're going to get a shot. You're going to get in the game. But what you do with it when you get in the game, and that's what's going to separate you from everybody else to sit back complaining and not doing nothing and looking at everybody succeed and complaining about it.
When you became successful, you did The Wire, you did the Chappelle Show, you're still doing your stuff.
I wasn't successful then.
I
was working. I wasn't successful. That's the illusion people have about TV.
They think when you're everybody making big dollars though.
Yeah.
You want
Let me tell you something, man. When
I was gonna say something. I ain't gonna say it. I'll save it for later.
I was doing Chappelle Show, and the thing about it was you heard me say I'm rich bitch at the end of her show, right?
You were rich.
Yo,
spoken into existence.
Yo, I go to restaurants, that bill would come, they would be like this, we thought you was rich, bitch. I said, I'm nice. But at the same time, Shannon, I knew I was positioning myself for success.
Right there.
When I was doing Chappelle Show, and I seen people come on this platform, that's what I don't understand about actors and people. You signed the contract.
Yes.
Did you read it?
You put your name on the dotted line.
Right.
You started this show. It was a small show. It just so happened that the show blew up.
Right.
Right? Your contract already signed. So you entitled to all that money? No. The only person in the history of this business has ever really tested the industry and say, you know what? I know I did do a f***ed up contract, but I know my value is, and y'all still gonna step up. Dave Chappelle.
Right.
The only one. He forced the hand of Comedy Central. And I think it was very admirable what Comedy Central did, because they could have said, man, f*** you. This is what we're supposed to pay you. But you know, when I was doing Chappelle Show, I was making $500 a sketch. And people already know, the blogs like, oh, they should have, but the show was.
Ashley Larry was only getting $500 a skit. And you know what? I'm not gonna even act like it's surprising. It's just surprising because of the level and the assumption and belief that when you see Hollywood, when you see big screen, when you see it on network television, we assume that the person is rich. We assume that the person has made it. We definitely assume that they getting paid more than $500 an episode, for sure. For sure. But now understanding like doing skits and doing advertisement for companies and understanding people's budgets and stuff like that, I can believe it. Hell, the people from Friday didn't get nothing for real. Them checks, I think they got, what'd he say? John Witherspoon say he got $5,000 or something like that. Like, yeah, so man, the stuff that we see is legendary, man. It was a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and lit pockets put into the production of that. So man, we gotta take our hats off to them, get their ass they pass on the back and applause now, because what they went through to make those pieces of art that make us happy and make us laugh, sent them through a lot of shit. And man, they say the same thing, make you laugh, make you cry. So I guess that's the best way to relate that to that right there, because Lord have mercy. But he right. If you can get in a comfortable place where you happy, not broke, but you happy with what you have, you're going to get a lot more of what you want by being grateful, by being appreciative, by working on you. Like, ain't nobody perfect, and your ass ain't going to get perfect overnight. Trust and believe. Don't even try to attempt it. It's not possible.
Established. I knew the best thing I could do, that was just standard. That's what you got as an actor. But I knew me working that episode, me getting 3 minutes of camera time, now I can go out and get my money on the road.
Right.
They see you.
Even when we was working the first 2 years, me, Charlie, nobody on that show was making a lot of money. But I was like, wait a minute, this don't match up. Everywhere we go, we hearing I'm Rick James, bitch, and everything, right? We know we popping, but our bank accounts ain't popping. And I was like, we got to do something. I came up with the idea. Pivot. I said, we need to do a tour. I said, let's do a tour called I'm Rich Bitch Tour, right? And at that time, I forget the name of the agency, but it was a young agent named Mike Berkowitz, right? He was a very young agent. My manager brought to him, I said, I want to do this tour.
I see fat people.
Charlie's name is popping. It was nowhere you go, you didn't hear Charlie Murphy.
He a Murphy.
Charlie
He was
Murphy
a Murphy.
never did comedy before, which I found very strange, to be around all these people, but never tested yourself. So I said, if I want to do this tour, I'm the first person ever took Charlie Murphy on stage. And I bullied him to do it, because Charlie, man, is a funny guy, talk a lot of trash. And whenever I wanted to shut him, I was like, yeah, you tough in the streets, but put a microphone in your face and see what happened. I knew he was trying to get some money. He did his first open mic. All I needed him to do was have 10 minutes. Bill Burr, at the time, and it's no disrespect, because you see what happened to Bill Burr's career. At the time, Bill Burr probably was a comedian, was headlining probably $1,000 a weekend. And I'm not saying it no disrespect, but you knew anytime somebody saw Bill Burr, you know he was going to pop. But that's just where he was then. And I said, okay, I get Charlie to do 10 minutes. I bring Bill Burr on the show, and Bill Burr wasn't a draw, but he was a funny act. And I said, we're going to do this tour. Yes, I could put anybody else on the tour, give them a little bit of money. But I said, no, we're going to go get some money, 3-way split. And we did the I'm Rich Bitch tour, and we made probably, at that time in our career, the most money we ever made. But with anything, Charlie started to know what his value was in regard to people wanting to pay to see him. Bill Burr was buzzing. He knew that he was about to take off, but we had to make adjustments. That 500 episode was getting us thousands of dollars on the weekend, and at that time, that was the most money any of us have ever seen.
Right. Bill, was he the first white comic that you went on tour with?
Yeah. But Bill Burr, his story was like, Bill Burr, when he came to New York, he was one of the few white comics that did every room. He did the mainstream room, and then he did the Chitlin Circus. And I think part of his, he's a very powerful, strong comic.
Yeah.
But I think he got a lot of edge being able to go into those rooms that everybody feared and just take control of it. But Bill Burr has always been a funny guy.
How difficult is that when you're young, you're a black comedian? Because I've always asked, and I ask this a lot of times, do you write a set, like I'm gonna be in a predominantly white audience, do I write a set accordingly? I'm gonna be in front of a predominantly black audience, do I write a set accordingly? How difficult is that to do when you're young and up and coming? Obviously, once you get established, you can go into any room.
It's the toughest thing, because usually when you first start sharing it, you write your voice is usually who you perform for.
Right.
So if I do the chitlin circuit, it's easily for me to go up there, the way I speak, certain things that I say, I already know they're gonna understand it. But then you have to, and even with me, helping with my accent from DC, coming to New York, you know, I was going places and people's like, what? What did you say? Certain rooms, it wasn't that way. Other rooms, I said, you know what? You gotta work on your diction. You gotta enunciate and you gotta do this. But a lot of comics, they get used to one circuit or one side of it and stay with that. But I always knew that I wanted to do more than just the chitlin circuit.
Right.
I wanted to do more than just what the black comics. And my thing was, I wanted to be, when I was in New York, there's a very popular club called the Comedy Cellar. It's like the biggest comedy club in the world, the biggest names. And when I was in New York at the time, it was only 2 or 3 black comics working there. It was Keith Robinson, it was Dave Chappelle, Greer Barnes, and William Stevenson.
Okay.
That was it. And it basically is like you walk around the corner of the black club and the white club. It wasn't too many people doing both. And I said to myself, if I'm gonna be respected in this business, or if I wanna be one of the best to do it, then I want my name to be on the same line out as the best to do it. And that was one of the reasons why I said I wanted to do mainstream, because the black circuit, back then, they was paying more,
right? But
you didn't really have no future. And at the end of the day, you were just getting pussy in a check. And it wasn't even a big check.
But for you, you'd realize that, you know, in order for me to be what I want to become, I'm gonna have to have crossover appeal. I'm gonna have to go appeal to that wide audience.
I gotta go where people are gonna see you. Back then, you producers and directors and executive producers, they wasn't going to
the
Chocolate Sunday. They wasn't going to the Boston Comedy Club Sunday night. They wasn't going there. So if you wanted to be seen, you had to cross over. Or
I feel like Donald Rollins trying to sell Uncle Shay Shay a car with his suit on. I feel like he's trying to sell him a car, or he his lawyer. If we was listening to this on mute and we didn't know who neither one of them was, I feel like this is a car sales transaction, or somebody was going to jail. It looked like this is Uncle Shay Shay. And Donald Rollins is explaining to him, you just can't keep doing that. You can't keep doing stuff like that.
Another thing people do, people used to get caught up in the fame of
suit,
it, in
man.
the women, in the
He
money.
look like a car salesman,
I'm cool with
man.
this. But as the years go on, you like this. I wasted
Insurance
so
or
much
something.
time just catering to this side of it when I could have been over here. That's one of the things, like, I hear people talk about Kevin Hart all the time. Kevin Hart was smart enough, and I'm not here to defend anybody. And you know something about your couch, you be wondering when it's going to heat up, right? And I know deep down them cards. That's a lot of cards, right? I'm looking at him like this. He got me with like, so when you was growing up, what inspired you? I'm waiting for you like this. So when you and so was beefing, but what people don't know, and I'm using, Kevin Hart don't need me to defend him.
No.
I know this little work ethics.
Yes.
Because I was a part of it. I said it on another platform. I remember Kevin Hart had one joke, and this is not being racist, he's doing an impression of a monkey, right?
Right.
And he was the best monkey you ever seen do a monkey joke. He had this, he had this going on, the ooh, ooh, ah, ah, and everything. And he used to rip, and he used to work the grimiest spots. But he used to commute from Philly. He would come up, he would do my clubs, the hood clubs, those $50 spots, and then he'd go do the mainstream spots. He knew that this is only gonna get me one thing. He had a bigger picture. He knew exactly what he was gonna do. He knew how he was gonna get there. You want representation? Guess what? They're not going to the chicken factory. They're going to the cellar. They're going to the comedy strip. They're going to that. And you have to have the work ethics to sit around, Shannon, and wait for opportunity. Somebody fall out on the lineup.
Right.
Somebody, you gotta get a reference to somebody. Just sit around, just hanging out. One day, okay, now's your shot to go in there. And I seen him do that. I seen him go from my spots to the comedy cellar spots. I seen him get a manager. I seen him go to one of the most prestigious comedy festivals. It's a comedy festival. Shout out to my man Bruce, who ran the JFL Comedy Festival for years. This festival, 25 years ago.
Toronto?
Montreal.
Montreal was being Canada, yes.
This was everybody's dream if I could get on there. Guess what? You're not going to get on there in a chilling circuit. You're not. There's no way. Some kind of way you got to get into the audition, you got to mainstream. But one thing about that special, it broke so many people. That festival, Monique, Uptown Comedy Club, it broke her. This festival was so dope, Shannon. You can go up there with an 8-minute showcase set, 9 or 10 minutes. And if you got a point of view, people can see what they could do. You walking out of there, people was walking out there with a $250,000 deal just to hold you. That's what that festival was. And when people don't understand, they say, well, how did so-and-so go from
$250,000
retainer to that? You missed the whole shit. And the reason why you missed it.
See, look, he talking about retainers too. Lawyer suit wearing ass. That boy said $250,000 just to keep you, just to retain you, so you don't go nowhere else. Just be cool. Hey, that ain't bad, Jack. That ain't bad. But make sure you look at them stipulations and the fine print. Read it all.
Because you wasn't invited. You didn't have the audition. And you can't knock a person that knows how to use their resources and position themselves for the right people to see them. Or you could bitch, complain, do them chitlin circus shit all you want. They pay money. That's where I came from. But eventually, you got to figure out how to maneuver yourself through this business. Kevin blew up off of that. Dave Chappelle blew up off of that. Sue Costello, Monique. It was so many people. It was the hottest festival. And that's what the birth of Kevin Hart was for the people like, oh, he's a plant. No.
I knew it. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the Corey Holcomb. He addressed it. I was waiting. Everybody that got their ass on this couch, I always got something to say about somebody. And y'all know anything about Donald Rollins. Y'all know him and Corey had a little thing. Pause. They had a little disagreement type of thing. It's on YouTube. We'll probably react to it after this. But yeah, man, he addressed it, man, slightly. Let's see what all he say after this, though. If he say the man's name. He might not say the man's name. I don't think he's gonna say his name.
His path was different from your path. You cannot fault anybody because the way they get it is different from the way you get it. And all of this bullshit about, I came through the mud, so-and-so. Guess what? I came through the mud. Guess what, Shannon? I took a shower. I put cologne on the day. I washed myself. I used my watch to let you know how much time.
You looking like a fresh attorney.
I switched it up.
Right.
What was that? Octavius Dixon. Appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. We're on the road to 1 million subscribers too, and I see we got 8 people watching. El Sakchu. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. We're on the road to 1 million subscribers too, man. So make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, turn on them post notifications so you don't miss a video. And yeah, let's get back to it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
When you started having success, did people think you took the easy way out? Because it seems to be, I get that now. Oh, he sold his soul.
But guess what? Sure. They don't know. What did Prince say? It sometimes take 10 years to be an overnight success. Those people that just introduce you, they don't know. But the real people, they know. Right. That's why I've had arguments with comics or whatever. Oh, he ain't so. I'm like, ask somebody about me. Ask somebody about my career. Oh, it's easy. You got the suits. Ask somebody about me moving from D.C., sleeping on my man Royale Walker's couch for you.
Hey, whoever is the people that get the people for Club Shay Shay, they be paying attention, boy. They be paying. Hey, Uncle Shay Shay, you need to get them some birthday presents, Christmas presents, holiday presents for the rest of the year. Because they doing their job, man. They knew that Donald Rollins would get on his couch and get talking. It seemed like every time a comedian or somebody go through something, Uncle Shay Shay, people be like, hey, man, we need to get him on the show with Uncle Shay Shay because he got some stuff going on and he going to talk about it. I know he going to talk about it. Lavelle Crawford did. Cat Williams kicked it off. Who else done been on there? Everybody done been on that couch, man. Jamie Foxx been on there yet, man? I think Jamie Foxx gonna be on there next, man. And if he ain't, Uncle Shay Shay, why you ain't called Jamie Foxx over there, man? Y'all got some beef or something? Because he played a football player or something, man? That was just Willie Beeman, man.
Year and a half, he get a TV show, leave me in his apartment. I ain't got no money, no electricity, no water.
You ain't paying the bills?
Huh? I tried to pay the bills. Them $30 shows wasn't getting it. Yo, I had an African landlord too, and he's so sick of me, man. We used to pay him with IO. He was so mad. He said, "Please, I would pay you to leave." Yo, because it was an area about to be gentrified. He was like, "Please, no, I don't want nothing. I just want you to leave." I'm talking about a stitching cord. So my man's apartment up top, sliding down, switching that stitching cord from a hot plate to an iron to a heater. People don't know. Nobody knows your comeback.
Hey, I'm saying ooh because I think I did that one time in life. For real. Ain't no think, I know. I'm just trying to think where it was. I do that at story time. Y'all remind me of tell my Donnell Rollins story one day from when I had to use the extension cord from upstairs.
Other than the people there. But then at some point, it ain't your job to give a
Nope.
You know?
Because a lot of times all they see is the success, but they never see the struggle. And because they didn't see the struggle, they see the success. They see the TV shows, they see the cars, they see the house, they see whatever.
That's what everybody want to do now. They want to be you. Everybody want to be you today.
Right.
Everybody want to be Joe Rogan today.
For real.
Nobody want to be Joe Rogan 25 years ago.
He right. Everybody want to be Casanat today. Everybody want to be Darren today. Everybody want to be, you know what I'm saying? But they ain't want to be them 10, 15 years ago. They ain't want to do that. Everybody want to be on Twitch today. Ain't nobody want to be on Twitch when it was just Justin.tv. And that's including me. I ain't finna act like, you know what I'm saying? I was on Justin.tv, but I was just watching TV. While y'all was watching all of y'all shows that was coming out from anywhere from 1990 to 2024. I was on the internet watching TV. I don't watch regularly scheduled programming. I don't. It's going to be regularly scheduled when I click it. Not when the hell you tell me to watch it. For real.
When people's like, what the is this? But now they see success, they want to do it. You don't even know how many they say, now I'm going to do a podcast. I want to do a Club Shay. They don't know how many years you was putting in when nobody believed.
How much investing you had to do, how much it took you to get to the point where you could do what you're doing. It costs money. You don't just decide, okay, I ain't going to work no more. I'm just going to do this. No, you had to invest prior to then. I had a partner some time ago. The man bought a sound system. And to me, I'm thinking like, I got a little sound system at the house. I was blessed with speakers and all of that. But I was wondering why the man wasn't putting it together. He was just keeping the boxes separate. That's because he was waiting until he had everything together so all of the pieces would work together. I wasn't seeing his vision, but he knew what he had planned already. You know what I'm saying?
This,
right?
When you was like, watch, it's gonna pop. If I keep going, I had offers to do this show. People trying for, and this before it popped, and I feel bad. Not feel bad coming on it now because I really didn't want it to feel like, oh, now it's popping. But it was always a conflict. And another one of the reasons, because we got mutual friends, Red Graham, my man Keith Burns, was one of your players.
Okay, yeah.
I grew up. I've known him since we played Little League football together. Right? But going back to my point, everybody wants to take the easy route. Nobody wants to take the hard work. It takes something like this. It wasn't last year.
No.
Nope.
It takes years. It takes years of looking at those subscriptions. God damn! I thought that one was gonna pop. Like 1,000 views.
You don't know.
You don't know.
That's right.
But then when
That's
that
right.
lick hits, you feel good. But everybody else
That's
like, oh my
right.
God. But you back there like this. I knew it.
Right.
All I needed was the time.
You go back to The Wire.
He telling the truth, y'all. He telling the truth. Ain't no cap in that rap.
Michael B. Jordan was on there. I think he was like 14, 15 years of age.
Yeah.
Michael K. Williams. I mean, that cast that you guys had. What was did you have a relationship? Were you guys ever set together?
I had a relationship with Idris Wood. I had a relationship with him. Michael B. Jordan. I was like so much older than him. I really had nothing in common with him. Michael K. Williams, we was really, really close. That was like one of my closest guys connected to that.
Rest
He
in
used to
peace,
come out.
Michael K. Williams. Rest in peace. Michael K. Williams. Rest in peace. Michael K. Williams.
He was a real.
Hey, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. That girly, welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. I don't care what nobody say. And y'all could clip this. I don't care what nobody say. There will never be another gangster as Omar in no series, in no movie, in nothing. Omar was if y'all make a gangster mural, put Omar at the top. That's it.
Brooklyn dude.
Yeah.
So he used to be like, man,
Oh, and if you don't know who Omar is, go check out The Wire. They got 5 seasons. Binge watch it if you ain't got nothing to do. But pay attention to who Omar is. Omar Little ain't play no game. You think it's a game? Go look.
Peter him, he was a great dude. You know, troubled souls, you know, things happen, but he was like one of my closest connections. But the biggest connection, and I want to go back, when I did The Corner, Tasha Smith.
Okay.
Tasha Smith and Candy Alexander, right? Okay. Tasha Smith, and I don't want to be offensive.
And The Corner was here, man. I was one of them people, I didn't watch The Corner because it was from here, and I didn't want to watch it until the whole thing came out. So I still ain't seen none of The Corner. I know several of the people that was in The Corner, but I've never seen The Corner. Hey, who sent Stringer Bell to see whoever he seen in the afterlife though? Him right there. Stringer was the shiestiest nigga alive. And then to find out that he didn't even speak with the accent that he had in the show made him even more shiesty after that. I was like, damn, this nigga is real shiesty. He just tricked all of us. I'd have swore he was from Baltimore.
Or anything, when I say this, people don't have to take it the wrong way. She's a bad bitch. And when I say that, not just on the acting side, I'm talking about directing. There is nothing she can't do.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know. I'm trying to encourage her to go back. She started as a stand-up. But she was my coach. When I didn't know what I was doing, Shannon, and I don't have, you talking about the guy with no training.
Right.
Like I if you can see certain pictures and you know like certain videos and shit, you know that it's made by certain, you know, like I knew it was probably a Wire type of feeling, but Chicago, but I just never got into it. But you can see that artistic, I took humanities in college too, so yeah, they showed me how to not be quiet during the movie. And once I learned, I couldn't see movies no other way.
She used to put me to the side, read my lines with me. In fact, she was the reason why I was on BMF.
Wow.
She was like, she called me one day. You know how certain people call you, you know it's a money phone call, right? And I was getting dressed for another thing. It was for Winning Time, the HBO show.
Yeah.
About the Laker dynasty.
Yeah.
And I'm all happy. I'm like, I'm working, and I get a call for her. I'm like, I ain't got time to answer this call. I'm getting dressed, right? As soon as I picked the phone up, because she said, when I call, you better answer that goddamn phone. I'm with 50 right now. I'm with Randy. Randy was the creator.
Real.
And she basically,
I don't know if y'all got people in y'all life like that, but you heard what he said when what he said. She said when he answered the phone, she said MF'er. When I call, you better answer that MF'ing phone. Now I know some people will call your phone like that and you'll hang up. But guess what? You're gonna miss out on a blessing, and you ain't understand that it was a little bit more behind them words than aggression. They ain't want to make you feel no type of way. They was just using the word, cause what Bernie Mac called it's a noun. It describes a person, place, or thing. So don't take it personal, man. Just let them land, and after they get it off their back, you know what I'm saying, you gonna get it. And imagine if he would have felt some type of way that she was talking crazy to him, and he, girl, if you don't get your ass off my phone, clicker. Now she's standing there with 50 Cent, like, man, look, I think that was his voicemail. Let me call right back. Nah, man, you done messed up, player. Calm down sometime. Everybody ain't trying to, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of them do, so keep your defense up halfway. You know what I'm saying? But don't mess up no opportunity because somebody talking crazy.
Gave me that role. Wow. That role I played, what was that? Alvin. She gave me that role. And this is what people don't understand about this business. everybody always want to say, oh, you had that little role or that little so-and-so.
Because they didn't have it.
No, not only that, because they didn't have it, but only that,
But
they
they
don't look at what you building.
Understood.
Right. First off, I tell anybody, you got to get on
resume.
set first. You got to get
My
on
bad,
set.
y'all.
Oh, I'm going to turn it down. I only got one line. You got to get on set. That role that I played, I was only supposed to be in one scene. Season finale. Randy loved that character so much because it was based on one of his cousins. He was really connected with that. I was supposed to be on one episode, right? The next they brought me back, and they fell in love with the character. They brought me back for another episode, where it went through that second season.
That's the
I
writers.
think I was in
That's them writers.
7.
Them writers
out of
can
the-
write
out of
you
the-
in
out of the 10.
anything.
And that's because I took that.
That's why I respect corporate. If y'all don't know who corporate is, man, do your homework, man, and come on over to the Black Chicago Be Like side of YouTube. That's why I respect him so much, man, because he got a pen, boy, that's like Picasso on the painting, on the canvas. For real, that boy be putting it in motion, boy, and then he has given you the implant of his voice. You can't think about corporate videos or nothing without hearing "Oh God" or something in his tone of voice. For real. And that's an artistic value. Like to be able to write. And then he's so cold. Like when he started asking us to comment what he should do, boy, that's engagement. I know his engagement went through the roof. Like that boy smart, boy. That boy smart. That boy artist. And he is definitely a composer of the visual arts that we partake in when we watch Black Chicago Be Like. Oh God.
Little ass role, and I did the
parlay.
Best I did. Chappelle Show. I was not supposed to be on that.
And your mama glazing. Whoever said I was glazing, your mama glazing. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm paying homage, man. You need to pay some homage to somebody with your little duck mouth at.
That show. There was no cast. Everybody's like, call us the cast. It was no cast. It was Dave and Neil had this show, right? And they could just put anybody on the show they wanted at the beginning. We had one actor in one scene. I remember he wasn't doing well. Wasted about an hour and a half of industry time, a lot of money. And where Dave and Neil would just say, you on the show, they said, you know what? Comedy Central says that everybody has to audition now. I had already did I'm Rich Bitch.
Right.
I could have been like, man, y'all know my work. I'm not auditioning. But I said, if I do that, guess what? I won't have a shot. So I went back in the audition room, murdered the audition, never heard that again. But I was only as good as my last sketch. Right. I was only as good as my last.
Jay Hart, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Scene. It wasn't like.
Jeremy Mangrum, welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Y'all hit that like button too, man. Hit that like button.
And my thing was, if you go hard enough, one thing, when you on a set, if you start ripping, same thing I say with Jaleel White, with Urkel. Supposed to be in one episode. But if you rip, and you and them writers, now they start thinking about you.
Right.
Now they used to just like, okay, we're gonna bring them in.
Right.
Another thing, when I was on Chappelle Show,
hey V, you still in here?
90% of the things I was in, I wasn't even supposed to be in. I was broke. I knew that if I go on set, I get some free food. I get to hang out, and they're gonna tap me in.
Right.
Like 85% of the things that came out of my mouth on that show, it was all improv and me being in the moment, just hanging out.
I think you mentioned that you were supposed to
have
have Michael K. Williams' role.
Yeah.
And you see what that role became. Did you like, damn, think about what could have been?
No.
It wouldn't have fit. He wouldn't have fit as Omar.
Certain things happened. I was like, they got the best person for the job.
Yeah.
And another
and
reason
I know what
why
he's
they had the
talking
best
about.
person for the job.
He talking
for the
about
job with him because I wasn't gonna tongue kiss the big old.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew that's what he was talking about. I knew that's what he was talking about.
For that was, I was like, I just thought he was a gangster. I didn't know he was taking dick, son. But they wrote that in. I didn't write it in.
The craziest
But I was like,
part.
you know what?
And I ain't gonna tell y'all. If y'all ain't seen The Wire, see The Wire. But couldn't no grown man do nothing to Omar. Couldn't no grown man do nothing to Omar. That's how you know niggas be suckers for real. They be real suckers.
Got the best person for that job.
Right.
Another situation, there's a role, Cat Williams was here, right?
Yeah.
He talked, that role that he played, Alligator Man, on Atlanta.
Fire.
That role
Fire.
came to me and him.
Right.
I was still in the running for that. I was asked, they said, you still in, you said, I ain't saying
Now, I could have seen him as Alligator
but
Man.
I knew I
That
was
would have been
still
funny.
in the running for it.
Er.
But certain times, I look at people, I look at their skill set, and after, the minute I found out that Cat Williams got it, I was not mad.
For sure.
You didn't get it.
I didn't
I'm
get
not
it.
mad that you
I
even
know how
told the
strong he
story
is
because
as
I
a
could
combat,
see
I know how
you
strong
as
he is
him.
actor.
You
That
as
role,
Alligator
I looked at
Man.
the role and the dynamic of it, and I know he would go all in. And I was
For
absolutely
sure, for
right
sure.
about Dave was a bad choice because he won an Emmy off with that role. But never once I was envious or jealous. I was like back to the drawing board.
For sure.
I remember when
for
Michael
you,
K.
it's for
Williams
you.
said that he was scared, he was conflicted about taking the role. And we hear now a lot of
He knew that was his moment,
about
though.
blacks putting on
He
dresses,
knew it was.
Right.
playing those type of roles.
And everybody ain't gonna take that role.
Where are you on that? Where are you on that, Donnell?
I will tell you this, and you might edit this out. Need something to be mad about, and I hope you can keep that. I'm not happy unless they mad about something.
Right.
How many?
He right.
It's
He right.
rich, bitter out
He
here.
right.
They got everything. Still have something to be mad about.
Yeah.
You can make that argument, oh, the demasculation of a man, whatever.
Right.
You know who you are.
Right.
And really, the reason why that's so stupid to me, Flip Wilson. One of the-
Geraldine.
Flip Wilson. All right. This motherfucker wore a dress.
Right.
Guess what? He was owner of his show.
Right.
He was executive producer, and he knew who he was. And he knew it was a character. And I'll tell you another thing. They always talk about this dress shit, right? I'm going to tell you when I was like, and I'm not saying, I know they'd be like, oh, that means he would put a dress on. Out of here. Ving Rhames played Holiday Hart.
Right.
Right?
Wow.
Transgender, I hope I'm getting it right.
That's
Character,
right, that's
Holiday
right,
Hart,
that's
right?
And I ain't gonna
auditioned
need
for
lie.
that role.
When I seen Miss Netta, I felt like the government was playing off of that role right there. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. When I seen Miss Netta, I thought the government was on bullshit and they was on some copy and paste shit. Like, what y'all doing, man? When I seen Miss Netta, all I seen was Ving Rhames, man. That ain't no slight to you, Miss Netta. Shout out to you and your plates. The food be good that you be cooking for Childs. I see everything. Just stay over there. But that's what I thought, man. We don't believe it's real until we see that it's real. But okay, I know y'all real, but I thought that was Ving Rhames, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's you. What was the line? So you are the bitches. It was because of you bitches that this bitch has been ignoring me for months. I remember that was part of the line, right? It was a dress. All right, whoever wants to say it's dress, go say something to Ving Rhames about wearing the dress. You ain't gonna do it. And what people don't understand is like, this is an art.
Black,
right.
Incredible Hulk.
Now, I'm not saying this for everybody. I'm not saying this for me. But I'm gonna tell you when it hit me, when I was like, man, who give a f about what people say? I was doing an episode of Wild 'N
That's
Out.
the realest thing ever. Who
Pull up
give
to
a
Tyler
about
Perry's
what people
studios.
say?
Military base. You been there?
I haven't been there, but I know where this program experience.
Wait for you go up in there. East side of the studio.
Come on, man. Don't
You
start
drive through that shit. You go down, make a right. Harry Belafonte Studios.
My
Oprah
bad,
Winfrey
y'all. I don't
Studios.
know what happened, man.
Sidney Poitier Studios.
Hard drive
And I
got
looked back, I
tweaking
was
or
like,
something, man.
from a dress? From a dress?
Right.
I was like, I'm a size 8. But it's people that have too much time on their hand to make the argument. And I guarantee you, Shane, the most people that talk that shit about blah, 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 look at what they're doing in life. It's probably a nigga that borrows his girl car, bring it back on E, blunt guts all over it. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. And any intelligent person will understand that it's all bullshit.
Right.
You know, you don't want to get caught. And I know that, oh yeah, he looked like he'll wear a dress. It ain't my thing. But I am not knocking somebody or judging them, somebody that does that. And especially in comedy. Now, if I pick you up, we going to the club. And you come out with a sequence dress, I'm like, yo, son, you got to change that. Or at least change your heels or something, son. Put some Timbs on with that dress, nigga. You ain't going to be going out here with us with that dress and them heels. The red bottoms.
But is that mainly in our community? Because you see Dustin Hoffman, you see and Robin Williams play that Miss Doubtfire, and I think Dustin Hoffman was in Tootsie. And you see so many other actors.
It's mostly it is definitely linked to our culture because Black culture is the most homophobic culture out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Certain like it's what it is. It's the way. I have a gay brother, right? And I asked my brother. I said, "Do you think I'm homophobic?" And he said, "No, I don't think you're homophobic, but I do think you're homo ignorant." And the reason why I was like,
Never heard that.
I was like, you know, I am
Never
ignorant.
heard that.
I'm not to say that I'm a bad person or anything. The reason why I'm homo ignorant because I was raised by homophobic people.
Of course.
So how do I not be homophobic?
Correct.
I was raised with uncles that thought anything could make you gay. Don't eat cottage cheese, nigga.
What?
Nah, they getting you used to consistency. I'm telling you, that's the gateway. You're gonna be like, walk after that. Don't wear pink. That's what I grew up with. But I do think that our mindsets have evolved to a point where the things, I noticed that even in comedy, Shane, it was certain things that I could say 30 years ago, it would get a laugh from the audience.
Right.
Like easy laugh.
Right.
Go ahead, you know, whatever. You get a laugh. That doesn't exist no more.
That's like
I understand that the mindset of people in general have changed. My brother is my brother with my father had multiple kids, and when I remember when my brother kind of came out because when I was growing up, I just thought my brother had all the bitches. Right. I didn't know he was like in that life or because I was so young. I didn't really connect with sexuality.
Right.
And I was too busy trying to build bikes and shit like that. So some time that went past, we had separated each other. As a young adult, I was at a comedy club in Hollywood and he came to the show. And he said, we was outside, I was taking pictures, I was caught up in my moment. And I said, he said, you see that guy over there? I said, yeah. He said, that's your brother-in-law. But my father has so many kids, I thought he was introducing me to another brother. I'm like, man, I ain't got time for no more brothers, no more sisters. It didn't hit me till later on. I went home, I said, oh shit, I think my brother just told me he was gay.
Right.
I called my father. My father, I'm talking about a straight street dude, heroin kingpin in DC, whatever, like pool hall guy, straight. And I said, Dad, I think Chucky just told me he was gay. And my father said, man, I knew what he was up to. Like being gay was up to something. Like going behind the bushes, right? He said, I knew what he's up to. And this is when I said, the way people think in their mind is evolved. And for my father to make this statement right here, it means a lot to a person's character. He said, I knew what he was up to, but he said, he was speaking on my brother's boyfriend. He said, man, but that's a good nigga.
Right.
Right in that moment. And I knew that my father cared more about the character and the guy that my brother chose to be in love with than what anybody else can think. And I do think that mindsets have changed so much when it comes to that.
Right. Let me ask you this. The Chappelle Show. How did that come about?
The Chappelle Show came about.
Chappelle, man.
Were you friends with Chappelle before the show?
Yeah,
Did you know?
Yeah, I knew him, but we knew of each other. Like going back to your question about the DC thing.
Yeah.
It's one thing about being a comic from DC. You always looked at the people that were before you and what moves they made. The first thing when you come from DC, the first sign that you really going for it when you moved.
Right. You got to leave DC.
You got to leave. It's not like now you be on the internet, you could be anywhere.
Right.
You had to go to New York or LA. So, and when I came out the gate, Shannon, when I tell you, first time I ever touched the microphone, I got a standing ovation. Wow. I was doing comedy for 5 months and I made Def Comedy Jam. I was on fire. And Dave, this is on record, Dave telling this story. Somebody asked Dave, at my 50th birthday, they asked Dave, Chris Spencer asked Dave, he said, where'd you meet Donnell? He said, I'm gonna tell you where I first met Donnell. He said, when I used to be in DC, he said, I was the guy. And I would leave, I would be in New York, I would come home, and I would always ask, who's the up and coming, who's smoking? And Dave said it was always the regular names, Fat Doctor, Andy Evans. But the owner, Barbara, R.I.P., rest her soul, she said, Dave, but there's this one guy named Donnell Rollins that's on fire. And Dave, the competitive nature he is, he said, that nigga. And then when somebody asked me, when I asked that same question, I said, who was popping? Who's got his smoking? They was like, Dave Chappelle. I was like, so what's so nice about him? It's like, he's smart, you know, he's animated, he's a good actor. They said all this shit. And I was like, I felt the same thing. I was like, man, fuck him. It was like a healthy competition. So we knew of each other. But my connection with Chappelle Show, it was Neil Brennan. Neil Brennan was a producer or an assistant for In Living Color when they were going out scouting talent. And he had me on a couple of audition tapes. And Neil Brennan and Dave had already wrote Half Baked, right? But the thing was, when they did that, Neil was popping as a writer. I think he sold 2 or 3 scripts to Hollywood, but his work wasn't being produced. It wasn't getting greenlit. He was getting the money, but he wasn't getting the green light. So he wanted to direct. He called my manager and said, I really like Donnell. I did this short film. I would like for him to be in it. Okay. It's just me, a camera, me and one other person, whatever. And he said, I want him to do it. He said, I don't have no money to pay him, but I'd like for him to do it. But this was the time I was on, already started, The Wire was on a corner. I was like, I know you can't afford to pay me, but if you're ever in a situation where you could throw me a bone, I'd appreciate it. Right. But I'll do it. I did it. Maybe 2 months later, he said, I'm working on something. Neil Brennan said, I'm working on something. I'm gonna let you know. I was like, I'm busy, whatever, right? I was like, what's the show? Name the show. He said, we don't have a name for it. A month after that, Neil called me and said, I want you to be on the show. And that show, and a lot of people don't toss back. That show that he promised if he ever was in a position to look out for me, it was a Chappelle Show. And of course, I couldn't have been on the show without the approval of Dave. But Dave was wanted to work with people that he just thought were funny. Right. He didn't really know me as an actor. It was just like, these are the guys. But Neil Brennan was definitely instrumental on my connection with that show.
I try to tell people this, that the one thing that I know about in this business now, the entertainment side of it, and when you have advertisers and sponsors, it's all about relationships. Yeah. If you do not have relationships, you're not going to go very far in this business. Not go far. It's really that simple, because a lot of times the people that are in position now weren't in those positions years ago, and they were smart, and they remember how people treated them when they couldn't help them.
Let me tell you something. I'm nice to 33-year-old. Yo, 33, 35, and the reason why I say that, they was 12. They was 12. When I told my agents, yo, let's go for these 33-year-old executives. They were 12 watching the show. A lot of the work that I get now is like this. Man, I used to watch a show with me and my dad. And
That's
you starting relationships early on.
Business mindset.
I'm like, these guys, and I feel, and I get this a lot of times. Oh, he's riding Dave coattails, Dave's flunky, all of this shit. Right?
Stephen H.
Oh, if it wasn't for Dave, guess
Welcome
what?
to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood.
Dave
Pleasure to have you
had
here.
his production company is called Pilot Boy
David
Production.
Lucas?
The reason why it's called Pilot Boy Production.
No, you like
because
David Lucas.
Dave had like 11 or 12 pilots before Chappelle
Welcome to
Show.
Mr. Brown's Neighborhood.
They
It's a
always
pleasure to have
come
you
to
here.
him. He was always getting
AJ
shot. For some
Davenport.
reason, it wasn't.
Appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Anybody else? As soon as I pause it, y'all don't want to subscribe. That's all right. That's all right.
Onions on the grill.
The right chemistry, the right team. It wasn't happening. It was the Chappelle Show that came together, and that was the one. So as much as you want to say, it wasn't for Dave, guess what? If it wasn't for the team that Dave built, he wouldn't have won a championship. You give Jordan all the credit. He's the star. He needed rebounds.
Yep.
He needed somebody to push that ball out.
Somebody to play
He needs
defense.
somebody to
Yeah.
say it. So as much as people want to say that, yes, that show was a platform for me, but I brought it. There's not a scene on that show that I didn't pop.
Right. For sure.
If you listen to some of the most iconic phrases on that show came out of my mouth.
Right.
No lies
It was in
told.
writing, but as
No
much,
lies
and I'm
told.
forever grateful for what they did to me. But I know that I wasn't a bum.
Right.
I I put in work.
You carried your weight.
And I always tell people, if you look at, I say my career is, if you want to compare it to anything, and I go to hip hop artists, Busta Rhymes. You might not remember too many of Busta Rhymes albums, but you know when he came on the track, he was up and he was going to bounce.
Right.
And that was my relationship with that show.
You know what? That's what I hate when they say, oh, you know, you riding his coattails or if it wasn't for him. But the question is, if I'm not successful, what would you have said? I ain't got no talent. You know what I'm saying? You didn't say you rode Dave's coattail. It was all because of Dave. Now, if the show is not a success, you're not a success, what are you going to say then? You're going to say, you just ain't have no talent. Now that it's successful, you're going to say it's because of somebody else. You don't want to give me the credit.
Once we get the power of not giving a that is, yo, you think about it, the most successful you know is the ones they get to a point
they don't give
a
They care less.
But when you got heart, which I do have, and then when you care about what people think, which I do have, I think about that. And then because of social media, you get to instantly tell how people feel about you. You slide in comments, you get about it. But once you get to that point where you don't give a that's when your shit start to pop.
But and then when you don't care, you see how he turned his back on the people to help him get to where he got to?
That's
that part.
I have.
And when you say that, people act like they don't understand. Like, you understand what ain't nobody changed.
The thing,
got away from around
notion. The notion. I do that. Like, you know what? Once I get to play, that's it.
Yeah. So when you started the Chappelle Show, could you have envisioned that it was going to be what it became?
Now, I'm going to piggyback on what you said about earlier. The Wire, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Chappelle Show, I knew. And the reason why I knew a Chappelle Show, because I was the warm-up comic on that show.
Okay.
Like when I say warm-up comic, like when we did the wraparounds in the studio, I was the first person you ever saw on that show. It was my job to go out there and get the audience warm.
Yep.
So I knew, I could feel the energy from that audience. I knew it was gonna blow. And another thing, I used to call Neil every time episode, because I used to be like, I was in the streets. I was still in the streets, still in Brownsville, Brooklyn. And I was like, I would call him, I'm like, yo, I was talking to the streets today. And they'd be like, what the streets say? I'll say, the streets say that shit was funny as shit.
Right.
Because, you know, Dave has had a level of success. For the most part, Dave, earlier in his career,
Dave been a prodigy.
He's been a prodigy. And then he had a level of success way before a lot of us. And we say that all we wanted to do when we first started was to work a college circuit and make money.
Yeah.
He was a king of that. They loved him. Main Street loved him and everything. But for some reason, at that point, his stuff was not resonating with the streets like that.
Right.
He was like, why you give about the streets? Whoopi Goldberg, Mel Brooks, all these people. Okay, but I just felt a certain energy when I go to the barbershop, when I used to talk to like some real street. And Dave was fascinated with that.
Right.
Neil and Dave was like, what did the streets say? Because they know what the executives say, what the streets say. And every week I would just predict what the rating was going to be. It was over, it kept going bigger and bigger. And even like another reason, on that show, if you're a historian on that show, you notice every time I did a character, when I come on, people just went crazy. The reason why they went crazy, because I was the warm-up comedian.
He was the only person they knew first.
So they would be connected to this stand-up comedian.
They got to kick it with you first.
Oh, shit. So it was a bigger laugh. That's why when Beautiful...
That's how it is kind of with... Nav Green used to open up for them, like in what's the guy name? Big Cat. Like everybody know Cat because he opened up the show. Then people know Nav because he used to, you know what I'm saying, open up the show and you know, get the jokes going.
Came on. That's why when Ashley Larry came
crowd
on,
warmed
people it came off a bigger laugh because they're laughing at somebody that made them laugh before they even saw him in the sketch.
How did you come up with the character Ashley Larry?
That's
it's an uncle.
Well, the character on paper, he was just a guy that had boxers on and dress shoes,
right,
and stole his girl's money. But I knew on that show that I didn't get a lot of time to talk, so I knew that any character I had to physically be funny before I even say anything. Because I'm not gonna. If you had an editor on a timeline, how much time I talked on that show? I didn't talk a lot.
Right.
But I knew that I wanted to be funny on site. So I went to
just like a
Don
slam
Diego, he was
dunk.
a makeup guy. I told him, I said, give me some baby powder, right? I said, I want to be so ashy, I could write how much money people owe me on the side of my leg. I wanted to be the ashiest dude. That when you see me go back and get the trash bag, that was real trash. I was like, how do I get the most out of this with the least amount of time? In fact, when we did World Series of Dice, that was the first time we had somebody outside of what was becoming the cast.
Right.
Charlie, Dave, Eddie Griffin was in that sketch. That sketch I wasn't supposed to pop that sketch. It was for Grits and Gravy. It was for them. But I just couldn't stop. It was just something that I was possessed with something. I remember Charlie looked at me, he said,
"You on fire.
Do you know what you're doing to this shit?" I was like, "I don't know." He said, "Man, you killing this shit." And I just went crazy because I knew I might not be here next week.
Right.
Eddie Griffin even said something to me. He said, "Donnie, you know what I like about you? In this show, and in particular," he said,
Schizo C9, welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Panda Core, welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. That's why y'all got to step out on faith, man, and y'all got to do y'all, man. That man killed the scene that wasn't even supposed to be his scene. He was just having a real good day and killed it. Killed it.
"You're not afraid to get ugly." I want to say I'm not too far from it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't nobody ever called me fine. Right. You know, I was like, but he was like, just that person to get dirty. Don't give a fuck about what nobody think. And then I knew that I was just fighting to be on another thing. But that's how the character was there, but I put the hot sauce on it.
Right.
Yeah.
The show is having success beyond. I mean, you thought it was going to be successful, but it probably at this point is even surprising you with the level of success that it's enjoying.
Yeah.
And then you find out that Dave is going to step away.
Right.
Did he talk to you? Did he talk to anyone about that? Or
No. It just broke out. But I felt, you got to realize that was going into the third season. Me and Charlie, we so excited. We got the Rich Bitch Tour going on. We going back to the third season.
Right.
You know, it's a chance that it might be a situation where we can make more money. But we just excited about it. But I knew it was something weird because the last sketch I saw him in, it was this show where we played monsters. I played a mummy. He played a wolf and
Macular, welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood. Kevon Doss, welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you both here. We're on the road to 1 million subscribers. Make sure y'all hit that bell so you don't miss a video. Hit that like button too. Thank you much.
And Charlie played Frankenstein, whatever, right? And me and Charlie just having fun on set. We kicking it. And I saw Dave, he was a werewolf. And he was just looking like in the air, and he said, "I guess 50 million is not enough." And I would look at him like, who you talking to? 50 million not enough. I take the zero. You can take 3 more of the zeros off. I'm good with it. And I didn't know that what was troubling, but that was just for somebody that's still coming up, not used to having no big money or anything. I was like, I don't even understand how anybody can say, I guess 50 million is not enough. I didn't understand that. And then he disappeared. Not communicate.
What could they have possibly wanted from him? Like, what was it? Because he came back. We didn't get another Chappelle show, but he slid back. I gotta listen to that again because it was a little impactful.
Understand how anybody, me still coming up, not but that built me. And I said we so excited. We got the Rich Bitch Tour going on. We going back to the third season.
Right.
You know, it's a chance that it might be a situation where we can make more money. But we just excited about it. But I knew it was something weird because the last sketch I saw him in, it was this show where we played monsters. I played a mummy. He played a wolf and Charlie played Frankenstein, whatever, right? And me and Charlie just having fun on set.
I remember that skit.
Kicking it. And I saw Dave, he was a werewolf. And he was just looking like in the air, and he said, "I guess 50 million is not enough." And I would look at him like, who you talking to? 50 million not enough. I take the zero. You can take 3 more of the zeros off. I'm good with it. And I didn't know that what was troubling, but that was just for somebody that's still coming up, not used to having no big money or anything. I was like, I don't even understand how anybody can say, I guess 50 million is not enough. I didn't understand that. And then he disappeared.
That's crazy.
Not communicate with me. But you got to also realize when we was doing the show, me and Dave weren't the best of buddies. I try to keep my relationship, be co-workers. I don't want to be all like, hey.
But
hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Hey, that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, after all this time to hear that was the story that happened from his behalf, right before Dave Chappelle went to Africa, and everybody was saying Dave Chappelle had lost his mind, or he in rehab in Africa and all of that. Be right back, y'all.
Buddy, just let me go do my job.
my thing and then
keep it moving. So we never, even that time, we hung out after the show. We really got connected after the show, after he came back. But like he disappeared, and it was so funny because I told Neil didn't know where it was, and I said, man, I bet you he probably went to Africa. And Neil was gonna be like, why would you say that? Well, I remember we were in the green room one day. It was me, Dave, Mos Def, and Dave was, I think Mos Def was a real estate agent in Africa, because he was trying to get everybody to come to Africa. I wanted to say, yo, you can't get all of Brooklyn to come to Africa, because then Africa becomes Brooklyn. Make it a secret or whatever, right? But I just had this weird feeling that he probably went there. Then cut to maybe 2-3 days later that they announced that he was in Africa. But for us, I never thought, I didn't know what the severity of what his thoughts were. I never thought that he wasn't going to come back. In fact, when he left, we was like this, all right, we can go back on tour now.
Right.
Because we had
thinking he was going to come back.
Yeah, we was like this, oh man, yeah, let him take 3 months off. I'm just thinking about the money we're going to stack up to come back. But he never came back. And he never communicated anything to me.
Do you believe there was a number that he would have been willing to come back from, or he was just over being underpaid for such a long time that he's like 50 million? If y'all gonna pay me 50 million, how much are you guys actually making?
I don't know. That's a tough question that only
Dave could probably
answer. But at the same time, I know he loves money, but he's not driven by money. You know what I'm saying? I think that it was probably more than likely something morally he didn't agree with.
Right.
But I don't think it was I don't think that his decision to walk away was just the money. But I think that when he came back, it's like, no, give me my money.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't think that was that.
When you did the Blacks Get Reparation skits, Prince, the skits are classic. The Rick James, the Prince.
All of them.
Did you, when you're like on set and you seeing him doing these skits, because I can just imagine, to hold it together.
Yeah.
Did you ever
We never held it together. We never held it together, boy. We blew so many takes. It was so many takes that we would always start with what we had on paper, right? But then he's so genius with sketching. It was always like, yeah, that's what's on there. But he always had something in his back pocket. He always had a drawer for that he was going to throw something. And then after a while, he kind of trusted us to get kind of loose and add that element to it. But it was, I guarantee you, half the stuff that was written on that paper never made it. And we just got loose with it.
Is that what makes him so good? Is that and most comedians have this ability, is that their ability to improv. Yes, it's on there, but if you let me do it my way, Kat said that, let me do it my way, and I promise you it'll be 10 times funnier.
But you can't always, but see, that's the problem, that everybody's not gonna agree to that.
Right.
And the reason why that, you got writers that's getting paid a lot of money. It's kind of insulting if you just basically saying, I'm gonna do all of that. Some people, that's the only way they can work.
Right.
But even in our case, we never want to disrespect the writers. We would do what Brian Tucker and Neil and put on paper. Then it was like this, okay, let me get one. You know what I'm saying? But no, you're not going to have too many steps. It's going to let you do whatever.
Miss Latrish, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. Child Porch, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here.
What? Just improv.
Yeah, because then now you start doing that, now they got to pay you as a...
Georgina Lipsy, appreciate the subscription. It's a pleasure to have you here. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. Oh, y'all showing out today, huh? Char and Sal. As now. Char, welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Y'all just showing out. That must be Patrick nephew. Terrence Ewing, welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Oh, y'all just done showed up today. Pamela, welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. We got anybody else? Anybody else? All right, let's go.
Writer, there's a bunch of things, but it wasn't. But the thing about working with him is that he makes you go harder. It makes you want to be the best that you can be.
Is it true that R. Kelly said goons at Chappelle?
I don't know. I don't know if this is true that R. Kelly sent goons, but I know we had goons too. So it was going to be a goon interaction. It was going to be a goon encounter. Yeah,
Charlie Murphy was one of them.
I don't know too much about that. But damn, man, that was another thing. We was like, it was the show was fearless. It's like we're going to say what we want and not care about what you think, but we do the funny first and deal with it after that.
Could there be a Chappelle show today?
Nope.
That would be a tough one.
Nope.
That would be a tough. I think certain things. I don't know if there could be a Chappelle show, but it would be interesting if there was a one-off.
Yeah.
But it's just so hard because now you gotta.
Today's society is a lot different than today.
But it's about to change, though, Shannon. It's like I think it is. I think that the idea of cancel culture is about to be dead.
Good.
People getting frustrated with that, and after a while, we went through that stage. You can't say this, can't say that, but people are getting sick of that. If anybody would be able to pull it off, it would be him. But I think that it's going to be time for us to get back to like not concerning ourselves what you think, but what we think is funny and put it out there.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I read that you what's the In Living Color?
Yeah.
Which is kind of, Chappelle before Chappelle.
Yeah, what about the In Living Color?
Didn't you audition for that?
I auditioned to it. I did audition for it, but I was green. I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
I auditioned for that. I was, like I said, when I first started, I came out hot, but I was green.
Right.
I was funny as a stand-up, and I had a couple of little quirky little characters and things I was doing that was different from everybody else.
Right.
But I wasn't ready for In Living Color. I auditioned for Saturday Night Live. That's where I met Neil. And in fact, that audition I did, Saturday Night Live, Tracy Morgan was on that same audition.
Okay.
And he got it.
Right.
I was a guy that told a funny story, but did not understand when they say we need 3 original characters, what that looked like. I was telling long stories. And I remember Tracy Morgan, he did a character, a black hockey player.
Yeah.
And it was a very simple character, but he really committed to the character, like he had the little things and everything. And I saw he looked like a sketch actor, but I wasn't ready for that. Yeah.
But you didn't understand. You understand now. Now you probably go on an audition. You understand they send you the format, what they're looking for.
Yeah.
You go in there, you know what they're looking for. You become that.
Yeah, but back then, I was only getting shots because I was funny as a stand-up.
Right.
But again, I wasn't trained. I didn't know what I was doing. And there was, when I look back, I was like, oh, if I was prepared for that, I probably could have got it.
Right.
But it wasn't. I always say it's a tortoise in the hare. I've been a tortoise for so long. I don't have a problem with the slow route, how it's going. As long as I get my money now and keep going, I'm good.
Comedy Central moves in a different direction. They do Key and Peele, which does a lot of what you guys were doing.
Right.
Did you feel any sort of resentment where you like, bro, y'all, that's us. All they did is Key and Peele, but you guys are doing what me, Chappelle, and Charlie Murphy would do.
No, I don't believe that. The reason why, everything has a moment in time.
Okay.
You're going to compare it, first off, to try to replace that time slot and everything. Of course, you're going to compare it. But there's no way. A lot of the Key and Peele stuff has been coming up on my timeline lately. And I was like, they were so funny.
They were.
They were so funny. And it could have been reversed. It could have been, they could have came before Chappelle's show and it would have been reversed. I think it was a timing thing. I think that they was in one of the toughest spots you could be to come behind a show that became so much part of pop culture. And then I know everywhere they went, they was like, oh, y'all trying to be Chappelle's show. It's sketch comedy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then there's something to be said for like, basically, there was 2 actors that read all these things. You know, in the moment, people like, same time slot, whatever. But I don't,
But it had to be good because it stayed for an extended period of time. So
they had to be good. They could have just trying to prove a point to Dave. Like, we got another nigger, we're good.
For sure. It's a joke, but it ain't a joke.
No,
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let's just. Teddy, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Say for the sake of argument, Chappelle's show is going. And we got the thing going on with Diddy. Would y'all have poked fun of that?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, for sure.
We poked fun of Diddy before Diddy was Diddying.
Exactly. During the Chappelle show.
If you notice,
fun of the man before the man was Diddy.
If you notice, Dave played Diddy and he had a lot of baby on his lips. Dave knew something that we didn't know. Dave knew something. That oil was going to come in. Dave had 1 bottle of baby oil in that scene. Take that. Of course we would have. Because we would have made fun of the things that's happening right now. Well, that would have been a tough one.
Everything.
I'm trying to figure out, hold on.
But who haven't trafficked? China?
A lot of people.
You ain't never trafficked nobody.
Yeah, no.
I know you're going to say the right thing right now.
Ooh, I know you're going to say. Ain't no right thing right now, tomorrow, yesterday. No, ain't no trafficking going on. No.
You talking about, I know you're going to say the right thing right now.
Yeah.
Okay. You.
Yeah.
Successful athlete.
Yeah.
Lot of money.
A little bit of money, not a lot.
Ain't never got a woman brought to you.
Don't try to downplay it.
I got a little bit.
Bunny hopping. Not just saying. I'm just saying. Now, one time
I've been to the sister.
In your successful life, you have not flown someone in with the intentions of having sexual intercourse with them.
My girlfriend.
You should be a lawyer. God damn, you smart.
He should have the suit on you got on.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Hold on. Is it true you were sitting between Diddy and Russell?
Nah, see, first off.
Come on, man.
Okay, so get to the second part.
Okay, the second part. First off.
Okay.
All right, what I'm trying to tell you is, let me explain something to you.
Come on, man. You gonna try to change the subject like that,
I take a shot. I'm gonna tell you.
You talking about, I take a shot.
A photo that's going viral that 10 years ago, Shannon, would have been a photo that would have been iconic and people that wish they was in that picture.
Yes,
it
they
wasn't
would
until after the freak off shit that
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
it looks suspect. But you look at that picture, Shannon, you see it different from me. What I saw in that picture, first off, I saw 8 successful black men.
Okay.
And I was there talking about friendship, creating general.
Why you ever sitting between your legs?
Can I finish the goddamn shit I'm saying?
Can I get another drink? Because I want to hear this story.
It's just my truth. Which is, I saw black excellence in that picture.
That's what you saw?
All right, first off, all right, this how it happened.
Okay.
Hey, man, Uncle Shay, you can't be mad at people making memes now, man. While you up here trying to make jokes, man. You bet in. If you laugh at it, you bet in. You a part of it.
This how it happened. They was hating on me. I was on that boat, that yacht, and I was f***ed up. Right? I was really.
You remember what happened?
Don't you try and say. Nah, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Say you.
Rory Pike, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Jonathan Billings, welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. Appreciate the subscription. It's a pleasure to have you here.
I know. Don't talk about that memory shit, all right? I don't mind to hear that. I knew exactly what happened, which was nothing. But I was lit. I knew I was lit. You know I knew I was fucked up. Because Diddy looked at me like, damn, somebody get this off the boat. Right. I was lit. And so they was really everybody was mad. I was having a good time. And they was trying to take this picture, right? And everybody was taller than me. They was trying to block me out. They was already frustrated with me, right? So I did. And it was a situation like this. I swooped around, went into the front of the picture, and I did like this. I did not know this nigga was right here behind me. And you know what? Why you asking me to tell you my story and you don't want to hear my motherfucking story? Or you could have just said, no matter what you said, you was in between his legs. And I wasn't in between. It was the depth. Camera people, it was the depth of the photo. What do y'all call that shit? When it's not focused and it's blurry, it was
the depth of field.
We couldn't see you.
The depth of field.
I didn't listen, man. I had a good time on that boat. All right.
Yeah.
I left.
Most people that was at these situations.
It's the difference.
Oh.
That was a family. It was family. My son was on that goddamn boat.
I see him in the picture. I'm just saying,
See, this is when we talk black on black crime right here. And this is why I love to do in my standing routine. Now, I'm going to get you back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to send you some videos.
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for this. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. You done bet in now. Yeah, you done bet in now.
Come on, Cat. No, Cat. Come on. No. I got a whole 20 minutes.
Come on, Cat. Come on, Cat. No, Cat. Come on.
But look, in all seriousness, you have defended.
I defended who?
The parties that you didn't know what.
First off, it's different parties, all right?
Right.
I didn't defend no party. I defended what that was, all right?
Yeah.
And that was family oriented.
But you don't remember a whole lot that day.
You know what?
He keep on telling me I don't remember a lot.
Because I'm not going to let you do this. I am not defending. What I'm saying is, of course, there have been freak-offs. And of course...
How you know?
I read the same blogs you read. I read the same... God damn, this nigga turned to a lawyer. No, I'm saying, okay, word is on the streets.
Okay.
Right? Everybody knows freak-offs. Everybody know Hollywood is Hollywood. I don't understand why all these motherfuckers act like, oh my God, they had a mansion party and they had cocaine and all these orgy drugs and why do people don't know? I'm not saying you got to be a part of it, but why is this whole thing is like, I can't believe they were doing that in Hollywood. And I understand. Cat Williams came over here, and it's part of my routine. I said, Cat Williams on this couch for 3 hours and his feet never touched the ground. That's the first thing I said. Y'all didn't see the same thing I saw? Y'all didn't see that?
You know Cat coming back?
I don't give a Why they give Am I scared of Cat Williams? No. For what? He probably come back. Start your year off right. But I know his feet was like this the whole time. And I told him, and I don't disrespect him, whatever, but in part of my routine, I said,
hold on, man. My granddaddy said your socks supposed to match your shirt and your tie, man. Why this man got on blood socks with a Crip suit, man? What's going on down here? Down here. What you doing, man?
That wasn't a funny part. Everybody think it was funny. You was the funniest because it didn't matter what the Cat Williams said. You said, "Oh, come on, Cat, you can't say that." I'm like, he just said it. No, give me a card. Give me a card. You was like this. Oh, come on, Cat. No, Cat, come. Oh, Cat, come on, no, Cat. Oh, they ain't gonna. Oh, Cat, these my friends. Cat, no, come on, Cat. Cat. Ocho. Hey, Skip. Ocho, see, the difference between me and you is you wear your watch to tail time. All right? And I wasn't every party that he had, and I wasn't at too many.
That's why you can't play with no comedian, man. You cannot play with no comedian, man, like it's sweet, boy, because your ass gonna get cooked. You're gonna be a part of the joke that you didn't know was already prepared for your monkey ass. Yeah, microwavable. What you talking about?
Okay, wait. I was at. Okay. How you helping? You the cameraman, man. What you doing? No, I'm just saying. I don't know that side of it. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not defending anything. What I'm defending, what that incident was, he does a party every Christmas holiday, St. Martin, St. Bart's, whatever it is. And it
Gifts
was
exchange? Or gifts exchange?
We had dinner.
Okay.
No gifts exchange. It was just a vibe.
Okay.
I was there. We was vacationing with Dave. It was just a vibe. We went over there. It was a vibe. And the thing, I'm gonna tell you, the thing that I did like about it.
Talking about we was
that party
vacationing with Dave.
Kimora was there.
Yeah.
Kim Porter was there.
Okay.
Russ.
My baby
Rest
mother
in
was
peace,
there.
Kim Porter.
Dave's kids was there. And I was, the only thing I saw, and I don't know what happened to anything else, what I saw was a vibe.
Okay.
What I saw was a good thing. And that's what I'm saying. Anytime you say anything about, you're defending, I'm not defending. I don't know nothing about the free parties. But I do know, right? Nah, because you about to get crazy. No, I can tell. I got to get loose with this shit. What I'm saying. Go ahead and say it. That's how Diddy parties start, right? No, I'm just saying. That's how I'm not going. I know you about to say some slick shit. I know. Yeah, that's how he gets you. Take the towel, start throwing your shit around.
Ace RF, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. James Gaskin, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying was, what I know was that was family joint and was cool. People can make out what they try to make it to seem what it was. That's not what it was for me. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not here, I cast no judgment. I don't look at you with judgy eyes. That's your story.
If you could do a close-up, those are very judgy eyes. Yo, your eyes judgy as shit. Anytime you take your glasses off and wipe your shit off, them judgy eyes.
Man, cause I've been crying, man. You had me up here crying.
No, I'm just saying it is what it is. I know I said no Diddy.
Yeah.
I said it.
So
you know he coming home, right?
I don't know, man. I don't.
He's paused hard
I don't
as
pay attention
hell.
to that stuff.
I know.
He paused hard as hell talking about.
I'm sorry for the people that was impacted by it, but that ain't got nothing to do with me, man. I ain't never been to nobody's house.
Why should you ask me?
Cause you the picture.
No, you could have just. If you really,
I mean, they say using the picture like
if
this.
you, I wasn't like that, son. I wasn't like that. I was in it like this. I was like this. I was in like the most interesting man in the world, son. I was like this. I was doing real shit. Who want to drink? That's what I did.
But it was the fact that you between the man's legs, though.
The nigga legs. I wasn't in between his.
He finna do it.
Was right there.
Yeah.
I was right here.
But you laid down like
I wasn't
this.
like. I didn't even know he was back there.
How you not know he was back there? You stuck in the picture.
This is what I just said. All these people right here.
Yes.
I can't see who in the front, Shannon.
Okay.
I can't see who in the front. So I run around the side. I couldn't see. I didn't even know he's here. I turned around.
It just so happens. You photobombed and you between the man's legs.
You know what? I photobombed and I was in an awkward position. You don't got to say between somebody's legs.
You keep saying it. He keeps saying it.
You got the wrong wordplay. I photobombed and was in a situation where people perceived to be very suspect.
Okay.
Or as the kids say, sus. That's what it was. You can take.
How would you perceive it? If you're not the person how would you perceive it?
I was looking. If I saw that picture,
yeah,
I would say, you know what? It looks like black excellence is in this photo, right? And these guys was having a good time, and it slipped into a compromising position.
It slipped.
That's what I did.
Into a compromising position.
No further questions.
No, boy.
Is it
no, boy. Don't be getting drunk like that.
Is it
boy.
ever a
Put the
situation
cup down. That's how you took
with
the
a
damn
Hollywood
picture.
party?
Put the cup down.
Everything is.
Why you asking me about Hollywood parties now?
You know you Hollywood.
I didn't. I live in the country, man.
You don't live in LA?
I do not. I live by a creek. I go kayaking.
You spent 15 years in Hollywood.
I never was a part of Hollywood like that. Why you asking me Hollywood questions? Okay, ask me the question. What?
Are any Hollywood parties on the up and up where you just go have hors d'oeuvres, you have a good time, maybe, and just
All of them are. At 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh. But you get there at 2:15 though.
My mom.
Cameron Wilkerson, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Maritza Torres, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Where we at? Where we at?
Mama told me it would be days like this. She told me don't get caught up. She didn't say shit, but she said don't get caught up in Shannon's shit. That's what she said. And she said don't drink the yak. I don't know. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Why do people act like they don't know what the Hollywood is about?
Especially, are you saying you can't expect a person that's not in Hollywood to know what Hollywood's about, but the people that are in Hollywood definitely know what Hollywood's about.
The people that's not in Hollywood know what Hollywood is about.
How?
Because they hear the
They're trying to
stories.
get into Hollywood.
You have to. Are we gonna be real?
Yeah, let's be real.
Are
All
we?
right? What you're doing is
Deflecting.
is not being honest.
I've never been to a party, so I can't tell you what's going on there. I can't tell
Now,
you
I
what's
don't
being
believe that,
served.
Shannon.
I can't tell you the
I don't
location.
believe that.
I can't tell you anything
Club
because I've never
Shay.
been there.
I don't believe
It would
that.
be dishonest of me to say, yeah, I know that's what's going on.
All you know, those Hollywood. I've been to some.
Careful. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
I've been in a situation.
You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. Do you understand?
Come
these
on,
rights
man.
that You've been written to.
Come on, man. You the law enforcement now, You just reading out people's Miranda's rights. Ain't nobody asked you to read no Miranda rights, Shay Shay. Your ass couldn't even read the goddamn play right. Leave that man alone, man. You making him nervous, man. You gonna be his main joke for the rest of the year. You gonna regret it. I'm telling you now, go ahead on now. Go ahead on now. Leave that man alone now for you be the butt of the joke. Literally.
I plead the fifth. I will just say this. I've been to parties.
Okay.
That I was like, it felt like a regular party.
Right.
And then I also been to parties. I feel like it's probably a good time
for you to leave
or partake.
Damn.
I'm not a partaker.
Oh. So you
I mean,
left?
It was one time.
Did you leave?
What are you talking about?
The parties, when they get crazy, do you leave? Did you leave?
Oh, he getting the clip now. He getting his clip farm on now. Donnell understand the clip farming.
Stay for 10 minutes.
But that's what normally
I peeked in.
But that's what normally happens.
I peeked in.
Donnell, you know, hey, I'm only gonna
peekaboo.
I'm only gonna stay for 10 minutes. You know, you ever
Get
go
his
to a
clip
party?
farm on
Hey,
now.
look here, guys. We only gonna be here for 10 minutes.
Right.
10 minutes. 10 turn to 30, 30 turn to an hour there, you there all night.
All right, Shannon, what do people go to Hollywood for? What do people, I just find it hard to believe. And I am not, because people are, oh my God, you're saying, I just find it hard to believe that as long as Hollywood has been in existence, as long as all type of crazy shit happens, I just find it hard to believe.
Nathan Auger, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Believe that nobody know that when it's about to start popping.
Oh. Is it a situation that
He talking about, oh, y'all hear how he just said, oh, like that? Like, oh, you don't know? I knew.
Start popping.
See how he just hit it like that? Oh. Man, I don't trust Club Shay Shay, man. What you got going on,
There's a situation that because Hollywood...
Can you change your voice?
Oh, my mom, change your voice.
You got to catch a predator voice right now. Go drink another drink. Go back to funny voice.
Darnell caught it too.
I want to hear that shit. No, fuck that. Nah, put some dramatic music behind this shit. I ain't come here for that, man. I ain't coming here for that.
You haven't talked to CJ about the score to go
I already know what it's going to be. Slow motion and everything. I know what it's going to be.
But maybe it's a situation. Hollywood, like a lot of times, it was our counterparts that had these type of parties.
Our counterpart, white people?
Yes.
Yes.
Now it's being alleged that someone that's from our community was having these types of parties.
I think our people in our community have these parties, but this at a different scale.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's at different scales. I think our party just like have weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got orgy drugs in his shit. Oh, no. Yeah, orgy drugs is a whole different. You ain't gonna never start an orgy with a blunt. I've never seen somebody be like this. Yo, who wants something about dick first? Off of the blunt. All right, you don't want to. You are so smart. No, I'm just saying. You know when to disconnect from me in this interview or not. You're very smart.
No.
He definitely know. Because if you peep his body language.
Right, it would have gave me
He's like, nope. It didn't start out with a blunt. It started out like,
I would have.
Damn. Go.
Nah, I'm just, ooh.
What?
Lord.
Hey, boy, you can read body language, boy. You can read body language and you can hear just as much verbiage as you hear when somebody's being verbal. Just pay attention, man. Just pay attention, man.
I don't know nothing about no parties.
You don't know nothing about no parties?
I don't know nothing about no parties.
Let me ask you this. A lot of times, you played...
Why are people so obsessed with these goddamn parties?
I think for the long... I don't know if people really thought that. They probably have heard
You can't even have a white party now. Look what Diddy did. Nigga, you can't even go see Frankie Beverly and Maze now. Before I let you go into the freak off. Can't even wear all white no more.
Well,
damn you, Diddy!
Michael Rubin is taking over the white party now.
Yeah. I don't
yeah,
those people
got the
in
post
those high
notifications
places,
for everything.
I just went, hey boys and girls, don't come to Hollywood.
Right.
Hollywood is an evil, dirty place. If you don't have any indication of what this world is about, stay the away from it. Right. Don't be surprised by any Hollywood Hills. I ain't saying that's gonna happen. There's a chance of it. And gotta let these motherfuckers know, don't be naive. You can't be naive. Nobody want to talk about that. You don't want to say what you could do to prevent this shit. So it's a tough thing. There's, like you say, with this, damn, if I say this about it or say that about it. But I do know Hollywood is an evil place. This job is evil. Entertainment, acting, the whole shit. I got a 9-year-old son that was talking to me about entertainment. He was like, Daddy, I want to do entertainment. And the first thing I did, any guy would be like, oh, he wants to follow my footsteps. First thing I told my son was, 95% rejection. They're going to be hating. People are going to be negative. It's going to be hard. You're going to get a lot of this is what I told him, right? You can get a lot of doors slammed in your face. I was like, if you were built for that, then maybe. Why would you want to do it? Try to discourage him. He said, Daddy, because you inspire me. And I wanted to tell him.
Did you see that photo?
No, that's
come on, man. Stop playing. Like, it's a time to play and it's a time not to play. Like, you playing like y'all in the room by yourself, man. Or y'all in the locker room just talking, man. You and that man talking about his son, man. That was the wrong time. That's that football sense of humor, man. That's that nigga that knock heads up against heads sense of humor, man. That's the wrong sense of humor, man. Now, you can't say nothing, boy, when your ass is the brunt of his jokes in his next special. Produced by Dave Chappelle. Don't be mad now, boy.
No.
Cracking jokes.
No. I'm not going to let you continue.
Can I get some water? Can I
get him?
No.
Water?
That
get him.
File. Yo.
Hold up.
It's like the biggest, only 2 or 3 black comics working here.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
Feet was like this the whole time.
We ain't doing that.
So as you starting to level up, you got to be careful. And I got it. I was like, why did anybody need to be in Hollywood?
Oh my God, did I really just get?
Did you think you could ever live that simple of a life?
Yeah.
What have you learned about negotiating with companies like a Netflix?
Oh, we was way past
It was
that.
the only letters in there was MAGA.
Capital.
He's always been a stand-up guy to me, always pick up my call, and I want them to see me perform.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want them to see me perform. Dave again.
And Netflix.
Dave. He said, tomorrow, no announcement. I go from a standing ovation. I want to be able to go somewhere and not look like Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
But you're an example of, you ain't got. I tell him, I remind him. That's who I close the show. No, that's I close the show. Seeing me in some of the toughest situations, seeing me at the Hollywood Bowl when that place hosts 18,000 people,
Appreciate the subscription.
and they're late.
Tyra,
It's only 900
appreciate the
people in there.
subscription.
18,000
Brown's
joint.
neighborhood.
And
It's a
then the
pleasure to have
head
you
of
here.
Live Nation comes up. It says, Donnell, good news, bad news. Well, you got 15 minutes. Only thing, there's nobody out there. So do you want to wait 5 more minutes or do you want to go now? I'm like, what the 18,000 people gonna come that quick? Give me the whole time. And
Man, I missed the joke, man.
Can I get some water? You want some water?
That was foul.
There it is. That's where I was at.
Yo, I looked you in your face and said, my 9-year-old son, you blocked all that shit out.
No.
Everything.
You
That's that
blocked
football
all that
sense of
shit
humor.
out. You ain't say, aw. You blocked all that shit out. You the type
The
of
wasn't
show my
even the
son
right
picture.
No.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
Yes, he would.
I would do that.
You think your father used to be asking, look, there's a picture of him with baby oil on his face. That's what you do.
He never saw Ashley Larry.
No, he know Ashley. But I'm saying, you don't think you owe me an apology?
For that.
You just said, in a moment, I'm giving you a tearful,
Sensitive as hell.
a serious moment.
You serious?
As hell.
You didn't think I was serious.
Man, get him, Donnell. You owe him one.
Going back to the joy of my life.
Okay.
All right. You want to give my son childhood trauma.
Petty as hell.
I looked and I said, and he said, I cannot believe it.
I don't believe you.
Why you don't believe me? I did tell my son this, and he said, Daddy, because you
Be truthful. You be 100% honest right now.
100% honest.
Okay, let's go.
Man, he trying to deflect the conversation, man. What you doing, man? What he's
Let's go.
fucking going? What are you lying about?
You already blew it.
Okay.
Did he see
Already.
the picture? What I was trying to tell you is that I told what I was trying to tell you before I was so disrespected is that I don't encourage.
T. Seema, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. I was trying to say your name and I got tongue-tied. My bad.
I don't encourage almost anybody to be in this business if you don't know how up it is.
Right.
You have to know. Now you want to do extra serious now.
No, but look, I think the thing is I think all of our kids, for the most part, normally like when doctors have kids, the kids, like a lot of times, you admire your parents that, they become a doctor or you become a lawyer. Right. Or if you're a professional athlete, kids see their father play football, basketball. That's what they want to become. So I'm not surprised that he wanted to follow in your footsteps.
Okay, but before I was so rudely interrupted,
yes,
I didn't want to discourage him from following my footsteps. But
you did.
Can I finish my thought?
Yeah.
This is my life and my son, man. What the fuck?
All right, go ahead.
Can I tell you about
But you
my
did try to discourage him.
Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
I said, I like the idea, you like what Daddy do, but why don't you focus, and you're gonna hate this.
What?
Why don't you focus on being a funny doctor or a funny lawyer?
Oh, he
but
didn't.
This business
He didn't
is
interview
very
Duke too.
Evil.
Right.
Any woman that's thinking about this, yes, you can get it. Yes, you can be successful, but I'm not saying it's gonna happen to you, but it's gonna be that try you.
Right.
We gotta stop sugarcoating it. Motherfuckers don't do math. They don't do easy math. This plus this equals this. You don't want to do that. Oh, why? I'm telling you what it is. Somebody said, this is going to be very controversial. When the Bill Cosby was in the news for all this shit, somebody said, Donnell, but what would you tell your daughter? They was looking serious like you looking at me, right? They said, what would you tell your daughter? I said, I would tell my daughter this. It's going to be hard for you to take, If a man sends an SUV for you at your place in the hood, takes you to the airport, you're on a first class flight, you get off that flight, you go to baggage claim, it's a with the sign with your last name on it, get in another SUV, go to the Four Seasons with a 3,000 square foot crazy ass suite, chocolates and champagnes, whatever. Bitch, that's not an audition. And a motherfucker's gonna try to get you.
Right.
You can't say that, oh, what are you saying? I'm telling you, that's the reality of it. I'm trying to tell you, this is what I would say. I'm trying to tell you shit that
truth is the light.
Men do.
Right.
So it won't be a surprise to you. Oh, I thought that what he meant. No, it don't mean that. It could mean that, but here's the equation. This plus this could equal that. And I don't want you to be a part of that equation. I would tell her straight up. And also, I would be in my daughter's life enough that no man could ever excite her or do something that I can't do that could persuade her to do something that she don't want to do. But when you start talking about real shit, everybody be like, oh, you victim blaming. Say the reality of it. If the non-reality is not working, let me tell you the reality. Bitch, don't get on the airplane. You can't say that, oh, no. There'll be people eating me up with this shit right now.
Right.
I don't have no career like that. But but to be honest, truth is, let's tell the reality. Even when Cat Williams did that explosive interview, everybody's talking about, Cat Williams did not say nothing that people don't already know about Hollywood.
Right.
Where's the lie? Okay, there's no lie, but what is the truth getting you? What did we get from that? What'd you get out? Stay out the parties. You can't say that. I'm wrong for saying that shit. And I'm gonna be in my daughter's life enough where I can't dangle shit and get her excited about that. But when you say that, oh, you can't say that. When Bill Cosby says shit like, you know what's troubling them, and I know people they can say what they want, that fathers not being fathers. When you address that shit, nobody want to deal with the real reality. The real reality is, what the f are you doing?
Right.
What the f are you doing here? You know this is not it. And it is people that will get success in this business for hard work.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there. I don't want to discourage anybody that has dreams to be an actress or actor. There are people who get it the right way. And there's some people that's going to suck a dick to get to the top.
Yeah, sure are.
And there's going to be a position for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm
Look
not
at that
saying
boy
I'm-
hung his head, boy. Look how that boy hung his head, boy. That boy hung his head
and there's going to be a position for everybody.
What's on the floor? What's down there on the floor? What's down there? Nothing. That man right there, man, look at that man in his face. Because he looking at you on your bald spot. Look at that man.
I'm not
Why
saying
you
I'm
so
hurting,
quiet?
but that's the reality.
That was uncomfortably
I'm not
quiet.
saying that. And I'm going to tell you, you know who's really up about this movement? The real hoes. The real hoes are fired up. Oh, I got to go to acting school. Fuck us down. I was just ready to be like, waka, taking the shortcut. There's options. But I wouldn't encourage, especially on the female side of it. But I will say this, Shannon. One of the good things about all this shit that's happening with Diddy, all this shit that's happening with the Me Too movement, they're checking themselves.
Right.
Like, as wild as it used to be. I'm not saying I'm guilty of a lot of crazy shit, but years ago, 25 years ago, I'd go to a set, I would have no problem saying, oh, you look nice in that dress.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't say
You
that.
can't say none of that. Oh, you look nice. I see you. Ooh, ooh. But now, and this is where I know the Me Too movement, and this is the beauty of what's going on, and the beauty of these guys getting caught in this shit and going to jail and this Harvey Weinstein shit, is that now you see it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the reality of it, that shit is out there.
Right. Let me ask you this. Do you think people, because you were able to do this, because a lot of times when people are in situations, the success of a Dave Chappelle show, and you're playing, basically you're the Robin to his Batman.
Why I gotta be Robin?
Well, Dave was the lead.
So I ain't never been Batman in nothing?
No, I just said Chappelle.
Okay, go ahead. You already showed me a level of disrespect, so I don't even know what.
Well, I'm just saying.
No, I already know. Go ahead.
I mean,
okay, I'm Robin. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm so lucky to work for Dave.
No, I ain't say so.
He gave me such a big break.
He did.
And he kept me out of those little freaky parties. All right, Shannon, go.
How do you explain?
I know a nigga about to say something when they do their hands like that. Yo, when they do that shit, it's coming home. All right, go ahead, continue, sir.
But how would you tell them? Because everybody wants.
How would I tell what? Let's go back.
Everybody wants to be, because
what
you was on Chappelle. Chappelle's Batman. Now a lot of times guys like, man, bro, I'm tired of being Robin. I want to be Batman, and they leave or they try to upstage.
Right.
Should more people be willing to play Batman? I mean, Robin.
The thing is, you got to realize Robin can get on too.
Yes.
And then the black community. This is the trouble in black community, black comics, whatever. We only think it's only one nigga at a time. It's only one person.
Right, one leader,
can't
one
share the
person.
stage.
No.
I'm saying, even though I don't have a problem, some people are comfortable being on the side.
Right.
Some people, their ego, they want to be the star. I don't care about being a star. I care about winning.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I know that I have moments where I'm my own Batman.
Right.
But I also know, I'm Batman. I know being Robin right now, this is a good look.
Right.
Guess who I'm beside? I'm beside him, and people get to see me.
Makes the dream
I do
work.
my own shows. I do my show. I sell out of comedy clubs, whatever. But yes, it's something to be said when Dave has me open for him, and we doing arenas of 20, 25,000 people with some of the biggest names in the industry, and I go up there and get a stand ovation before I go on and before I after it. I know there's advantages of being a Robin, but I know that I have my moments of being Batman. But that's when you have to put your ego aside. You know, what 50 Cent says on every platform, one of the 48 laws of
power.
Laws of power. What's that book?
Slow down. You just said it. Slow down.
Don't upstage the master. You know what I'm saying?
Boris, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Howard Baker, welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood. Appreciate the subscription. It's a pleasure to have you here. Play.
You know what? I know what my position is.
Right.
And when I'm around Dave doing shit, I won't even take pictures with people. I won't even take pictures with people because I don't want to give the impression that I know that's his space, his time, and I would have my time to shine.
Right.
People got to understand that. And relationship with Ben Robin has opened up the doors. Comedy Central, when I did my last special, Comedy Central, Robbie Praw, Ted Serrano, they had already decided that they was going to give me a special.
Okay.
There was already some talk about Dave producing special. They had already talked they were going to give me a special, right? That was already in the can. But also, now here's when Batman and Robin relationship pay off. Comedy Central, when I got that, they would have probably gave me, I don't even want to say the number was, but it would have been a type of number where I would have probably used half of that money on the budget to produce it, and I would have came back with a wop wop. Me waiting for Batman, I got 7 figures.
Wow.
That's a relationship that works. Everybody's not built for that. Everybody's not, and those people that can't handle it are the people that's usually envious and jealous.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have no reason to be that way because I know, Dave knows, pound for pound, I'm one of the funniest out here.
Right.
I don't care what you want to say. I know that. People ask me all the time, Dave Chappelle's one of your favorite comedians? Ask Dave Chappelle who's in his top 5. And unequivocally, he would say that I was a part of that. And not because of one set, but because of seeing me over the years, seeing me in some of the toughest situations, seeing me at the Hollywood Bowl when that place holds 18,000 people and they're late, it's only 900 people in that 18,000 joint. And then the head of Live Nation comes up and says, Donnell, good news, bad news. Well, you got 15 minutes. Only thing, there's nobody out there. So you do you want to wait 5 more minutes or do you want to go now? I'm like, what the 18,000 people gonna come that quick? Give me the whole time. And Dave said one of the greatest sets he's ever seen. I jumped off that stage. 800, can you imagine what 800 people look like? And 18,000 people? I went off the stage, went to each person in that audience, ripped the shit. Everybody in the green room come back up. Dave said if I was teaching a comedy course, I would show people what it means to be able to stay in the pocket and do that. And this is, when I say this, and yes, I'm getting a little mad. Dave Chappelle did the outdoor cornfield shows when nobody else is doing shows for 2 summers in a row. Some of the biggest names in comedy, came out of that cornfield. Guess who ended the show every time? Me. Wow. So when people want to talk shit like that to me, when people want to say, did your son see the picture you sit between Diddy legs? I tell him, I remind him. That's my no, that's I close the show.
He brought it back full circle.
Diddy close his legs. Go ahead. Wah. But that's just it. That's just it. You know, I know
that's what it means.
That I'm a funny guy.
Right.
I know that I've paid my dues. I know I've accomplished a certain amount of things, and I know there's a lot of other things that I could do. But one of the things I do know is I don't get caught up in the stupid shit that all these other comedians talk about, the dumb shit, stupid shit. I'm enjoying the journey. I enjoy the fact I call my own shots. I work when I want to work. And also, I've also realized I didn't go to college. The only really training I had was being a military police officer in the Air Force. I built a career for myself where at the end of the day, I could put my name on the marquee and people say, you know what, that guy's funny, I want to go see him. Anything else is extra.
What's some of the best advice Dave has given you?
Dave don't really give me advice.
You really?
Nah. He doesn't really give me advice. Just stay out of trouble. Well,
It's like he ain't caught the hint yet, man. Stop asking about Dave Chappelle, man.
To level up.
This Donnell Rollins interview,
as you start
man.
to level up, you gotta be careful of shit because they will come after you. But he doesn't really, you gotta realize, Dave is the GOAT, right? I'm older than Dave, but Dave really has respect for me. He has respect for me as a comic, so it's not too much advice you're gonna give him. And when we talk, and like our relationship is not like our relationship, it ain't all about just comedy.
Yeah, y'all ain't really talking about,
You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
y'all talk about life.
people
Y'all talk about
people come to me like, yo, I got this check, so I say, I don't even talk to Dave about none of that. Me and Dave talk about family. You know what I'm saying? Like our friendship is not just on that screen. We've been in funerals together. We've been in weddings. You know what I'm saying? When I had my first kid, you know what I mean? He saw the excitement that I had on those tour buses and shit like that. So our relationship is not just about that show. It's a real brotherhood.
Hold on.
That's what's up.
You live in Ohio?
What?
You're from the DMV. What made you decide to go to Ohio?
I got invited to a Diddy party.
No, Dave lives in Ohio.
No, Dave lives in Ohio, but I'm gonna tell you, this is what made me think about it. During the pandemic, when the whole world was shut down. The whole world was shut down. Nothing was moving in LA. You know what I'm saying? My baby mother was really getting on my nerves, like, and at a very tough time when nobody was working. I didn't know what the future of anything was gonna be. And Dave was one of the first person. He created a bubble.
JoJo Smith, appreciate the
and
subscription.
it was in that time, that
Welcome to
first
Mr.
summer,
Brown's
that
neighborhood.
time
It's a
that
pleasure
I
to have
started
you
really looking at like what's really important in life. And Hollywood shit didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It was just like, during the pandemic, if you didn't appreciate the simple things in life, like, you know, being in Hollywood and riding past the playground with no kids there, all that type of shit, if it didn't get to you and realize something else is out there, and I went out there to Yellow Springs, spent some time in the country, I saw how simple that life was, and I got it. I was like, why did anybody need to be in Hollywood now?
Did you think you could ever live that simple of a life?
Yeah, and the reason why, because my life is so chaotic anyway. I travel so much. I'm all in so many different places. I can get my chaos there, but when I go on the elsewhere,
home, you want to
just want to chill. I want to look in the backyard and see a motherfucking deer.
Right.
I want to eat some of the shit you used to eat, like possums and turtles and all of that crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it was. I was like, this is the simple side. And Hollywood is not Hollywood anymore. It used to be a point where the only way you could make it, you had to be in New York or Hollywood. But you're an example of, you ain't got to be in Hollywood to do any of the things that you do.
No.
You can be wherever you want.
That's what digital is. That's what the internet digitally has done.
And then what it also is, you bring it to me. Like I do a podcast, whatever, I'm building the numbers on that, but I'm like, eventually I'm gonna get that to a point where, you know what, I don't gotta work as hard as whatever, I better do that. But it was the simple life, it was that simple part of it. And then after doing it for over 30 years, it ain't too much shit that I haven't already done.
Experience that you...
On the wild side, so, you know, I know different birds and shit now. Blue jays and canaries and shit like that. And I appreciate that shit now.
I mean, cardinals. Canaries are not native to Ohio.
What?
Canaries are not.
What are you?
Cardinals. That's the red bird.
Oh, you a bird now? Oh, this Mr. Do everything. Yo, nobody knew what bird I was talking about. You had to take it to the origin of the bird. Okay, I grew up around gray birds. I grew up on gray birds. They was all gray. Pigeons. They go. A canary, cardinal couldn't even make it in D.C. They get jumped. You ever seen a colorful bird in Brooklyn? Never. All gray birds.
Let me ask you this. You got some money. When you first got some good money, some decent money. Not when you know, I mean, obviously, any money you was making probably was a little bit more than you was making in the DMV. Okay. But when you got a good chunk of money, what did Donnell do?
Because that was at the beginning.
Intro. Yo, I was on people's books. But I never, the thing is, my grind has been just constantly. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Where it was no money to make some comfortable money, to be scared about this. But the crazy thing now is I'm going through a transition on learning how to have money, make money.
Right.
But I never, I've always been just teetering along, but it was never nothing. It was never nothing like, oh my God, I can't wait to blow money.
You never had no throwaway money.
Never did that.
Right.
If I won't say throwing that, I know this sounds crazy, but the best thing, the weirdest thing, and I'll get over this, the best part of me making money is being able to help others and give other people. Right. When I was younger in the game, I was like, you know, what money is gonna mean to me is that I would be able to take care of some people and make other people's life comfortable. Because where I'm coming from, it's not too many people that can go through and say, even as simple as y'all get what y'all want, order whatever you want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was never. And I'm not like a flashy guy or anything like that. I just do just simple shit. As long as I can provide for my son, my family, I'm good.
Ditto.
Does money mean different things to you now as opposed to say 25, 30 years ago?
To me, it do.
No. I've never been excessive. You know what I'm saying? Only thing I did, when I was younger, I wanted to live like a drug boy without the chance of going to jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted to have a nice car, dress nice, and I wanted to be able to go somewhere and not look at the tags and not worry about money.
Right.
You know, and I built enough now, that's where I'm at right now. But money is not my motivator.
Right.
The only thing I look at money now is for the future of my son.
Right. I had Marlon Wayans on about a couple of months ago, and he said when he wrote a show, he and Sean, and it didn't go through like it wanted to, and then Keenan came on and he made him write it 20 plus times again. Right. And I read that Dave made you rewrite your special 3 times.
Yeah, but it was, I don't know if it was a rewrite.
Man, how we even get to that part where
So I mean, okay.
Nah, you said you proud? You been going raw longer than me?
What?
Oh, he like, yeah, nigga, I've been getting that heat for the longest.
No.
But what I'm saying was, it just didn't happen.
Right.
I was in relationships where it'd be 2 years, 3 years, then start all over and shit like that.
Right.
But then it just happened. I did have him late in life, but I don't have no regrets about it. Sometimes I do think, what if I would have started early, whatever. But then you'll go crazy thinking about that. I'm just happy that, and then I have a beautiful son.
Yes.
Don't yes me about my son, please.
What about marriage then?
What? Marriage?
Yeah.
It's probably 1,000% out of the cards for me.
What?
I got a son. That's black marriage. Yo, it's gonna be one of them. Have a kid or marriage, son.
You got one.
Yeah, I got one. Boom. And then when she said, I remember when she was like, she knew what the baby was. Right. I said, "Is it a boy or girl?" She said, "What do you want?" I said, "A girl." I said, "A boy." Boom. I was like this. I'm out. Rollins' name continues. Yeah. But my happiness come through him, and my happiness come through what I do.
Have you ever caught someone cheating on you? You say you had a dream.
I don't think I caught nobody cheating on me, but I know in the past I cheated so much. I know I had to pay them taxes.
You got your card. They got the lick back.
I'm pretty sure of it. I'm 1,000% sure. But you got to pay. I'm like, it was time to reverse that sooner or later. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure.
Toxic.
But I look at cheating like this, like motherfucker. No, go ahead. Go to the next question.
I will ask toxic relationship. Who's more toxic, women or men?
You know what a toxic man's gonna say? Women. You crazy bitches. They bitches don't understand us. Yeah, the most toxic, them crazy ass. Oh, cause I ain't come home last night. You tripping? Why you going through my phone?
Would you consider yourself toxic?
By definition, yeah, I do think I'm. Nah, but see, damn, if I don't think I'm toxic, then I'm a narcissist.
Mr. Canchola, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here.
I'm a nigga. Put everything in there. Gaslight, toxic, narcissism, love bombing.
Yeah.
I do all of that type shit. And that's what make men men. We ain't gonna be perfect. You and your goddamn therapist. About that shit. I'm all of them. All of them. Every mental health word you can use on me. Toxic, narcissism, but through all of that, I am a good.
Yeah.
Through all of that. You know what? This is something to be said. A lot of people have better relationships and relationships be strengthened if women would just stay the out of cell phones.
There you have it. The urge to see, they gotta know.
If it's gonna be better than new pussy. And once you get to the point where you don't need new pussy or chase it, that's when shit starts to exchange. Because the men always gonna have the drive to want to do something with somebody. But eventually you get to a point like, is it worth it? And I think that what happens is you've been in so many situations where the consequences of your action, you realize, guess what? Most of us know how to be good men.
Right.
We know how to do it. Because you can look at every bad relationship prepares you for the next relationship.
Right.
And you know, like, how did this one up? Because I did this.
Right.
Once we get to the point where we say we don't want to do that, then that's when you'll get to that point.
Do you want more kids?
Oh my God.
Because Al Pacino had one at 80.
Phone.
Yeah.
Somebody really need to take Tyrese's phone. We don't need to know every second of your life.
Right.
I respect you as an artist. I respect what you've done. But damn, man, I wish you would just shut the up.
Have you got a lot of that? People ask you to take down posts, to stop making jokes about them?
Nah. People don't do that.
You weren't gonna do it anyway, huh?
I wasn't gonna do it. I've never considered it. And the reason why I say that because I'm really selective on what I put out there. And I'm like, if you can't take this, you're just overly sensitive and I can't cater to that.
Right.
Then if I do that, then I'll be taking posts down for everything. No disrespect to Tyrese or anything like that, but I personally think that someone needs to take his phone. Because I know you want to be in touch with your fans. We don't need to be a part of your whole journey.
Right.
We don't need to do that.
Let me ask you this. What was the best comedy stand-up experience you've had? You've been on Def Comedy Jam, Showtime at the Apollo, Comic View.
For me, the best comedy experience I've had was when I did my special, because no matter what you think of that special, it felt like I really knew what I was doing. Like from Dave scratching it twice, I felt like the next one I'm doing, the next one I do, I know exactly. I know what point of view is. I know beginning, middle, and end. I know that during that show, I captivated the audience. So for some reason, as long as I've been doing it, and I've been doing it for 30 plus years, it was that special that I was like this, oh, now I know what it means to be a professional comic when the stakes are up.
Right.
Because you can just, people say, well, I've seen him be funny, whatever. It's one thing to be in a comedy club with no pressure, but when those lights are on, somebody's money is there, and you trying to duplicate what you did all these years to that, it's something. I just felt like when I did my special New Day, it was something that made me feel like I know what I'm doing now. And even after that, people that come to my shows, they're like, oh, I didn't know if he was gonna do stuff from the special. No joke from my special is there. It's all new, and I'm still getting better.
The set for a special. You say a special is gonna be an hour. Are you doing all new material, or are you doing material that you fine-tune? Like some of the jokes, obviously.
On the special?
Yes.
The special, you doing stuff that this is what I felt. I wanted to do, because you on a clock, you on a time, you on people's money. I wanted to feel like I wanted that special there, but I wanted to be open enough where if something happens in the moment, I can do that, which makes it very organic. But a lot of times, you don't have the flexibility to do that. You still, just like by the book, But when I do my shit, even my show today, or whatever you see me, I'll probably 50% of stuff is what I want to do, and I want to do I want to keep myself open for what could happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So let me ask you a question. How much do you like when you go on stage? Do you like you've rehearsed? You like written down? Because Marlon says I don't write down anything. I'm going up there. I'm free. I'm just going with the flow. And then I've had others say, "Hey, I got a set. I know what I want to go. I want to go boom, 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 boom. Hey, I might alter here or there according, but
I don't have a script, but I do like if it's certain points I want to do. Me, the best sets I've had when I'm working with the emotions I'm dealing with that day, if I'm having some drama, family stuff, whatever, if I can kind of turn that into stand up. But I'm not like some people, they are like Chris Rock. Chris Rock he's not going to deviate. I've seen Chris Rock prepare for specials where it's gonna be like blah blah blah. He's a professional. He's a professional, and his pen game is crazy. But me, I want to be able to talk about something, but how do I get there?
Right. I'm looking at Jamie Foxx called you a beast. You worked with Chris and Dave on the because you was on the at the Hollywood Bowl. You mentioned the Hollywood Bowl.
Yes.
So were you there when the guy rushed the stage?
I wasn't there, and I was a part of that tour. But I had another gig I was doing one of my gigs, and that was the only show during that run that I missed. It's so funny because I was on a flight, and when I was taking off, somebody said, they just attacked Dave on stage. And I was like, oh, like I'm gonna take a parachute and get off and shit. Like I'm gonna go save him. But I wasn't at that show.
Chris Rock recently ended the Billionaire's Private, but once he found out somebody was recording, how serious are you about recording your shows?
It's weird. I think that, like at my shows, I'll make sure the MC announces that no recording rights. I'm not going to let that ruin my show.
Right.
Because even though somebody...
Tiffany Curry, welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. Appreciate the subscription. It's a pleasure to have you here. Travie Patty, welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. Appreciate the subscription. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Is recording your set?
K Jr., appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Boom. The Battles Believers Group. Appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here.
It's not going to take away from people seeing you live and seeing you put it on a platform that you're going to do it. It doesn't matter. If somebody records, I wish people would take more time to be involved with the show and not record. But if somebody record my shit, it's not going to stop them.
Yeah, you
from
see the whoops.
Watching on Netflix or
See
going
the
to
Reese
see me
whoops
live.
too, right?
But it's like a funny situation.
Did you get upset at Cat for what he said on my platform? A lot of people got mad at me.
Right.
They said, because you allowed Cat. I'm like, allow? I mean, I have asked somebody, I invite you in to have a conversation. I don't know where you're going, just like I didn't know what you were going to say here today.
I didn't get mad, but my thing is like, you got people with problems and people with solutions. And my only thing was that, and I listened to it, like I said earlier, okay, you haven't said anything that people don't know about Hollywood. And then my thing is, what do you want out of this? All right, so-and-so stole my joke. Write another joke. And even when I listen to it, it's so easy. So first off, if a can that easily steal your joke, guess what? It ain't the best joke out there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mark Carey was upset, like, oh, Steve Harvey did a joke about Halloween. I'm like, who don't got a Halloween costume joke?
Right.
Who don't got a joke about, I was so poor we dress up like ghosts. I was so poor I dress up like a UPS man. Who don't have those jokes? And then it may sound crazy, but writing a joke, when I first started, I used to be, oh, that motherfucker stole my joke. He stole my style. I'm like this. I didn't get nowhere with that. I had beef with comics. I'm like this. All that does for me is like, you know what? First off, if motherfucker say a joke, go fight him. That's how it used to be. When I was coming up, it ain't like you didn't have no blog. You go fight him that stole your joke.
Steal your joke?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you knew it, you just step to him. If you ain't gonna step to him, what are you mad about? If anything, write another joke.
Right.
It's so, but not only that, usually when you hear somebody somebody stole a joke, the joke is so easy to steal.
Right.
That what are you complaining about? And that's when you go deeper into you as a comic, because now, all right, people used to steal my shit. I was like, you know what? That joke was stealable. You can have it.
Right.
Then I got to go back into myself. That's what I'm talking about, point of view. You can't steal a joke about a relationship I have with my son.
Right.
You can't steal a joke I have a relationship with, or any relationships that I have. You can't steal that joke.
Right.
It would force you to be more creative. But a lot of this shit is just bullshit.
How have you been able to appeal to two different audiences? Because you have crossover appeal. Obviously, like you said, you came up in the Chitlin circuit. You can black comedy. You can be in a black room filled with blacks. You can go room like you said you had in Nashville. You had basically the audience. None of them looked like Donnell Rollins. How have you been able to make that transition?
White bitches.
This man.
What?
I don't know nothing about that, Donnell.
You're trying to get me. No, I'm sorry.
I'm not there, Donnell. I'm not there.
No, I ain't. I'm sorry. Ooh. I'm sorry.
Man, look at that face, man. Come on, man. Why you making this face, man? Like he ain't never had him no. Man, stop it, man. Stop it, man. Stop it, man. I don't believe that, man. I don't believe Unc ain't never had him no snow, man. I don't believe that. I don't believe it.
White bitch.
I won't.
Explore different cultures.
Yes.
Be involved. The reason why I've been, because I just don't have one group of friends.
I like to drive around my block.
Right.
That's it.
Yes. That's your block is
look like me.
Your block is a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, and people like me live in it.
Bunny?
No. I don't know what, Donnell, where did you get that from? I want to know who told you that.
I ain't going. I don't have no resources.
See? Now you talking about who told you that.
No, it's
it
not.
Is.
It is all over
it's
your face.
written all over your face.
See how powerful?
Even how you even the way
you don't have to say a word. Look at that. You can see it. You can see it. Look, don't tell my business, Donnell. Now, Donnell, look now, Donnell. I told you to change the subject now, Donnell. Don't tell my business now, Donnell.
You talk is different.
You see?
You enunciate now, son. Yo, you said, I beg your pardon. You got index cards. What the are you talking about?
You see how powerful the internet is?
What?
Somebody said that and ran with it, and not everybody believes that.
I believe that, I believe that you are a hopper. You are a hopper.
Mr. Calhoun, appreciate the subscription.
You a hopper.
Welcome,
you might have
Mr.
a
Brown's
t-shirt around for a photo op.
It's a pleasure to have you.
No, but y'all want me to.
You might wear a dashiki on your birthday.
No.
You got hop in you.
All that tried, obviously, they say that because they want me to reveal.
Right.
And I won't fall for the banana.
Well, don't see, even leaving the phrases you use. That's very white.
Okay,
banana in the tailpipe.
What about the okie doke?
Okie doke is better, but that's not what you said. You said banana, and you said the old banana in the tailpipe. That's a bunny hopper right there, son. Oh, they had to hit me with the blurb, 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 blurb. No.
Let me ask you a question.
Because the reason why, because I'm culturally diverse. And I don't just associate with just one type of people.
Yeah, right. That's how I am.
One of my friends, this is what he said. He said, man, you're gonna have a good time with Shannon. I said, why? He said, because y'all both like black and white.
I like women.
No, now he wasn't talking about the women. He was talking about black and white in regard to okay, let's say I got a guy I like this. And you know what? It may sound insulting, but I know what he meant by that. And I'm gonna tell you that it's been a dilemma in my career that I didn't find out till like a year ago. I was talking to this promoter, and I was doing a show, and I was talking about these black package shows, right? And it's always like Samoa, it's always Earthquake, it's all these people.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, yo, and I love everybody I just named. I said, why do they keep missing me? Why I'm not on these shows? And he said, Donnell, I pitched you for the show. I'm the one who got you the show. He said, but a lot of promoters think you're a white comedian, right? And what they meant by that was because my audience and what I can appeal to is black and white, so they don't think that I'm a black comic.
And plus what they see you pull up to the arena with. So
Well, what?
That might have something to do with it.
It has everything to do. What I'm saying is the diversity that I
Yes.
have. You know, and I was like, but I want all the money. But that's then when one of my friends said it about you, it's like, because you both appeal to to both. What's
Yes.
wrong with that?
Because they want you to love one and then hate the other.
Right.
Why can't it's kind of like the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. Why can't I like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese? Why do if I like Caitlin Clark, I gotta hate Angel Reese? Why do if I like Angel Reese, I gotta hate Caitlin Clark? Why can't I like
gotta have a good guy and a bad guy?
This world just feeds off.
And they don't care which
They got to
one
make
you
you pick.
choose.
You got to choose a side.
You got to choose sides, and it's all
That's
negative.
right.
Like even what I say when it comes to the internet, whatever. Guess what? Bad guys can win on the internet.
Yeah.
You know, when
For
I
sure.
first started, you had to be likable
sure,
to
for
sell
sure.
tickets.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But now
Not
you
no
can
more.
be hated and still make money. Because at the end of the
Yep.
day, it's always about the engagement and who's going to be the most interested in giving the most engagement.
That's right. That's right.
Politics. How do you stay away? Do you make sure? Do you try to stay away from political?
I tried
about
to. It was one time when I used to put my political views first annual
Celebrity.
Subby game, right? And I know they didn't want me on the team because they said they didn't have my shoe size. I was like, nigga, I wear a 9. Y'all always got 9s around here, right? They ain't had no jersey, they didn't have nothing, right? So I come on there, boom, Karan Butler, he out coach, right? They called me in the game. I don't know why they called me in the game. They called me in the game. Kevin Durant bringing the ball up, right? Yeah, I feel like Freaky Zeke. Like, then I put him in a full Nelson, then I swung him around. All right.
You stupid as
tried to
hell.
dribble the ball between my legs. I don't know what happened. I stole the ball, right? Man, I didn't know what to do with that. I'm going down the court. I picked Kevin Durant pocket.
Right. Okay.
And I'm going down the court, and I was like, if I try to go all the way to the basket, I'm a double dribble, so I'm gonna be stupid. So I pulled up at the 3.
You pulled up like Steph Curry?
Y'all got the receipts. I pulled up with the 3. Boom. Y'all saw how I did it, right? So I was like this. I dribbled, boom. You see?
Okay. In,
And then-
out, blah, blah.
Let me tell you a story.
Okay.
So I'm like this.
Well, let me
behind
tell the
back,
story.
I did behind the back, flipped it again, between the legs. He coming, pushed him out the way, took the ball. I pulled up. But when I pulled up in slow motion because I wanted the moment to be forever. So I
like you frozen time.
Yeah. What I did was I pulled up with the left, right?
Yeah.
The right coming next. I hit with the left. I was like, then on the way down, I take it, then reverse it, right?
Yeah.
First, I went up with this.
You in the air?
Let me tell my motherfucking story. Look, I'm just all in the air because you know my vert was like 43. I was just 10 seconds in the air.
Okay.
So I
Hey,
pulled,
Mike, that's you,
I
boy.
pulled
That was
up
you right there, Mike.
like this. I'm shooting it, right?
Right.
Then I said, nah, because he was going to try to block it. Pulled it back down.
Damn.
What I was gonna do was do it behind the back pass, but he wasn't open.
Right.
So I said, now I got 5 seconds left, right? I pulls back up, right? I pulls back up, right? I pulls back up like the bitches is going crazy, right? I pulls back up, right? Then it was like this. Nah, it took a minute, because that's how my angle is. My shit's like 30 seconds up there, right? So all the bitches could get pictures and shit. So I pulls back up, pop. He behind me trying to get the ball. Everybody in slow motion like, oh shit.
They looking like this?
Let me tell my story, please. They're like, oh shit. Right? And I'm coming down. I hear everybody saying, oh shit. And then some said, Psh. Red Grant was there. He was, and all of a sudden, all you hear, I'm not an athlete. I never heard this in my career. They was like, oh shit. Ashley Larry. I was like, what, nigga? Right? I was like, what? Right? And then I called timeout.
What you call timeout for?
I took myself out the game.
You can't call timeout if you make a shot. You don't have the ball.
I don't play like that.
I don't play
called
like that.
timeout.
Technical
They was like,
foul.
oh shit, Ashley Larry. And I was sitting back there like this, nigga. Yo, I was
That
like
was a
this.
championship.
Right? And then
Personal
Karan Butler,
championships
he
be
act like I'm a
different.
threat from the outside. We started losing. He's like this, yo, you want to get back in? I was like, it's over for me. I got a triple single. My career's over. Boom, that's what happened. And y'all got the video.
Yes.
Yes.
But tell them time you hurt yourself dunking on that 8-foot goal.
You You have what I call negative positive energy. You know, that's a good interviewer and shit. What happened was, this was after I hit that 3-pointer on Kevin.
Yeah.
So boom. You know a story gonna be funny when you say boom, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in my baby mother house, her mother house, Stephanie house. I'm just, don't say what you about to say.
I ain't gonna say that.
What you doing to his baby? So the kids fucking, they like this. They call me an old head. They got, you know the rim?
Yeah.
It goes 10 foot to 8 foot, right?
Right.
I'm minding my business. I'm barbecuing, right? Minding my business. Got a barbecue ready. They said, what you gonna do, old head? I said, what? I said, what y'all gonna do is, y'all gonna, first off, put your camera on. This when Vine was out. I want them to Vine me. Vine was popping, right? I said, Vine.
And I don't care what nobody say. When Kevin Hart knew he was gonna be who he is today, he definitely trained with this man. For sure, for sure. I ain't trying to hear it. He trained with Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart trained with Donnell Rollins. For sure, for sure. And if you can't pick up the similarities, that's on your blind ass.
Me. I said, what y'all gonna do is take a picture. They said, what you gonna do? I said, first off, because this is coming off the Kevin Durant thing,
Yeah.
right? I
So
said,
you feeling good about yourself?
Nice. But I said, I'm gonna throw the ball off the backboard, right? I said, I'm gonna grab it, because you know the hang time I had in that last shit, right? I said, I'm gonna grab it. I said, I'm gonna do a 360. I said, I'm gonna do a 360, right? I said, I'm gonna, see what right here? I said, I'm gonna do a 360. Then I said, I'm gonna bang it, right? And I said, on my way down, because I had a barbecue rag right here. I said, on my way down, I'm gonna grab the rag.
Chris Costello, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Doris Haldane, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Uh-oh, Mitchell Mackey, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. Now, why everything ain't catching up, I don't know. But I'm gonna just let it go like that.
I'm gonna wipe my face. Y'all better catch that shit. They said, do it, old head, right? That made me even madder.
Gas you. They had you gas.
They gassed me. I walked, all I remember, I went back and something said, fire! Joe, I wish I came my pants too tight. I'll show you. Right here, patella.
You ripped your patella?
I tore it. I said, something said, this out. Because I'm in Jersey too, so I'm nervous. I didn't know my leg. I thought I got shot, but I didn't know who I was beefing with, right? I was like, I can't believe Mike Epson done rolled up, right? Okay. Yo, I thought Mike Epson done rolled up. That's another story. Tell him, ask him how I saved his life. Anyway, so that's enough. Boom. Bam! Right? Pop my leg, right? And I'm mad because I'm like, I can't believe my let me get shot. Ain't nobody saying, go get that thing or nothing, right? And it was so up because the little kid, it was like a Spike Lee movie. The kids were looking over top of me like this,
You
right?
right?
They was like, we don't even know what happened. He was only 2 inches off the ground. I thought I got shot, and I was mad because nobody was trying to get at him. And here's the crazy thing about that. I was up, when I did that, I was up for a roll. What was that? Power? Was it Power?
Yeah.
I was up for a roll in Power.
Wow.
Right? As soon as I get my leg fixed out of surgery, my manager called me and said, they wanted you for Power. And I was like, my knee up. And Charlie Murphy got that role. That was the last role Charlie Murphy did. It was off of Power. But that's what it was. That was my whole career. Y'all saw what you...
You were pretty athletic because I read you were a security guard at a grocery store and used to chase down crackheads.
Man, he ain't even letting him breathe, man.
You could have been an athlete. Crackhead's fast. How you catch him?
First off, I wasn't a security guard at a grocery store. I was a general.
Okay, you was a general guard.
I had rank. And you don't chase them down. You put 5 carts in lane 17. You block. You gotta make that pattern go.
Right.
Because they want to steal the shit and run out, but you got to make it where they go sideways. But that was my job I had before.
Before you got a comedy.
Yep.
You
That's
promoting anything.
crazy.
Tell us about anything you promote. You performing. Tell us where you're at next.
I'm performing. This is what I'm promoting.
Okay.
Brotherhood.
Okay. I'm all for that.
Black excellence.
New fat
you know,
order.
The crazy thing about this, my mother warned me about you.
What'd I do?
She said you was gonna say that. She said, baby, he gonna say what I did, and you tell him. She said, don't drink the yak. I do have a podcast, and I know what it is. I should have did it earlier in the show. Right. It's called the Donnell Rollins Show. It's on YouTube and all podcast platforms. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you.
I'm excited to be here. I didn't know that you was gonna be the villain.
No. We had a great conversation today.
No.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we've been trying to get this. We've been trying to do this for a minute now.
Right.
You've been dodging.
Man, boy said no.
Can I have my phone?
Hit that like button for me, y'all. Hit that like button. Show appreciate you.
Is it on?
I'm trying to figure out why Mitchell Mackey name ain't pop up.
Yeah, it died.
Boy, you lucky.
Well, see, hey, CJ, you see the Lord. You see how the Lord wanted to do it.
Yo.
Look at the Lord.
Nah, charge my shit up. Ask me 2 more questions. Ask me 2 more questions. Charge my shit up. Nah, ask me 2 more questions.
Look at the Lord.
Nope. The what?
Mike.
Oh my God, I can't.
You beefing with Mike Epps?
I wouldn't beef with Mike Epps. I wouldn't beef with Mike Epps.
You were beefing with Mike Epps.
I wasn't beefing with Mike Epps.
He was beefing with you?
Me and Mike Epps.
Yeah.
Pretty much came to New York about the same time.
Correct.
He was a country dude from Indiana, Atlanta. I was a country dude from DC, Virginia. And me and him was like closest friends. We used to catch the subway together, ride the subway together. They used to make fun of our country accents. And we was guys that was getting on, right? In some kind of way, during that process, we fell at odds.
Chick. I knew it.
No, it wasn't a chick.
What was it?
Because I was never on the level with the chicks. Mike Epps always had some of the baddest joints. I wasn't that. You might want to get him on the show.
There you go.
And ask him.
I got you.
Ask him how I saved his life. That's a good question.
You saved his life?
He gonna tell a story? Nope. He ain't gonna tell a story.
I'm sorry.
For saving his life?
No.
This
concludes this episode of Club Shake.
No. I want to call somebody. All right.
That's the Lord.
Won't he do it?
Man, all right, man. This was this reaction video / mukbang, man. Once again, man, y'all check it out, man. Y'all see that? That's syrup, man. That syrup that's on the thing, man. So shut up, man. I know you had something slow to say. But yeah, man. We enjoyed this little reaction time, man. Hit that like button. KL3, appreciate the subscription. KJ3, appreciate the subscription. Welcome to Mr. Brown's Neighborhood. It's a pleasure to have you here. And until next time, man, I'm going to holler at y'all later, man. Peace, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Mr. Brown's Diner, because we finna do some more cooking over there real soon. You feel me? Until next time, man. Peace, man. Brown sugar bag.